What a night for baseball. 88 degrees, and the crowds are filing in. We've had a few records set at different places. We may certainly set another one here at Dish Falk Field, Austin, Texas, for a showdown that many have labeled as the best in these super regionals. And what a statement that would be given what we have seen play out already. Texas and Oregon, mirror images of each other. Big, strong, power-hitting teams. As we take a look at both sides of the bracket, we'll start on the left side. Congratulations, Mike Bianco going back to Omaha for the first time since 2022 when they were the last team in and the last team to leave. And how about the two elephants in the room, West Virginia and Troy, crashing Omaha for the first time? On our side, it looks like this. Kansas, Oklahoma. Oklahoma, last check, had a 7-0 lead on ESPN2 in the fifth. Alabama St. John starts about an hour from now. And Georgia and Mississippi State, what else is there to say? But, oh, my gosh, 11 home runs in that thing, a 7-0 deficit. They came back and won. Congrats again to Georgia. KP, Chris Burke, Carl Ravitch, delighted to be here for this super regional. There are many that have looked at this series and said this has the potential to be the best. Why is that?
Well, I think you got two big-time brands, two national brands, two teams that can really pitch at a very high level, and two teams that are capable of hitting the ball at the ballpark. They took care of business in the regional. I'm expecting a 3-game series. Should be a lot of fun.
Already a 3-game series. So let's talk about these Ducks.
Yeah, it's a pretty complete team. I mean, we talked about it just a minute ago. How about top 20 in the country in home runs, top 20 in the country in ERA, top 10 in the country in fielding percentage? One of only 3 teams to go to a super 3 out of the last 4 years, but they've only been to Omaha once. That team on the other side of the diamond has been there 38 times, more than anybody else in the history of college baseball.
You talk about the Texas Longhorns. If they hit another homer, they'll be the first Power 4 in the BB Core era to have 100 homers and 100 steals in a single season. And the top 3 are as complete as any in the country.
Yeah, it's a special group. And you're talking about Aiden Robbins, who might be the most electric player in the country. 23 home runs, leads this club. Carson Tenney, the catcher who transferred in from Notre Dame, maybe the most violent ball striker in all of America. Hits it as hard as anybody in the country. And Anthony Pack Jr., we knew about the hit tool, but the power is emerging. The SEC Freshman of the Year, played like a superstar last week. And if you're going to beat the Longhorns, you better take care of the top 3.
Well, they took care of business. Both of these teams really rolled through their regionals. 41 runs scored in the Austin regional for Texas. And that kind of dismisses that their starters' ERA in the regionals was 1.15. And speaking of starters, one of the best in the country is Dylan Volantis. He gets the ball for the Horns.
2 years in college baseball, it's a combined ERA under 2. That's good, folks, and this kid's really good. The left-hander's going to show you a mid-90s fastball, a couple different breaking balls, outstanding control. I think sometimes that's what gets lost a little bit with Volantis. Can land the breaking ball and then can go out of the zone. You see the whiff rate on the curveballs, about as good as you're going to see. The lefty is as good as there is in the nation.
It's a great coaching staff on the Texas side who know all about high-level baseball. And when guys like Troy Tulowitzki and Jim Schlossnagle look over at Oregon, they think, wow, that's like an SEC team. They are big and loud and powerful.
Yeah, it's a big physical team. And the 3 freshmen we have highlighted there, Laya, Jaxa, and Luwaki, are as talented as they come from a freshman standpoint, but they don't look or play like freshmen.
This environment will test most freshmen, although watching the Ducks the last couple of days, they're about as loose a group of Ducks as you see that has their feet on the ground and not up in the air.
I like their vibe.
So they have Jax Jimenez back at the top. He'd been banged up. He lost his position as leadoff guy, now healthy, and they believe he is an absolute difference maker, an on-base machine. It was a thumb, wrist, hand injury that cost the sophomore his position. They had him batting in the 9 spot for a long time, but now back to the leadoff. And already it's a 1-0 count. That one misses a little bit high. 2 balls and no strikes from Volantis.
Yeah, you talk about on-base machine. 32 walks, 21 hit by pitches. Far and away the highest on-base percentage guy they have, and they feel like he's really starting to round back into form.
Couple of hits in the regional, the 2-0. That's in there for a strike. KP, for people watching, what will we see Volantis throw?
Fastball, he'll show you some cutters. The curveball is his best swing and miss pitch, and that's kind of what has made Volantis famous since he's been there. But he'll throw the curveball pretty much at any time. Will show a few changeups to right-handers at times.
2-1, swung on, and it's underneath the glove of Larson. Jimenez leads off with the single, and that worked beautifully as he gets inserted into the top spot. I should say reinserted. Man on first. Well, the head coach is a terrific guy who won a national championship himself back at Pepperdine in 1992. Mark, and they call him Waz, Mark Wazakowski. His third super regional in the last 4 years at Oregon. By the way, they haven't really been to many until he got there. And then they hit the ball.
One.
And they hit the ball over the wall until he got there.
They've been there 6 years. They've been in the postseason all 6.
Off speed in there for a strike from Volantis. The game plan will be to be aggressive. And we'll see what Jimenez does on the base paths. Ryan looks at another one. So a couple of off-speed pitches that have landed to get ahead 0-2.
Back-to-back curveballs gave up the hit on the cutter to Jimenez to start this one. Now 2 straight curveballs in the zone to work to 0-2 count against the freshman Laya.
It's a Texas defense that had turned 33 double plays this season. Volantis checks on Jimenez. Casey Borber's at third base. Adrian Rodriguez, A-Rod, is your shortstop. Temo Becerra is at second. Ashton Larson is the first baseman. Now around the outfield, Anthony Pack, the phenomenal freshman, SEC Freshman of the Year, is in left field. Darian Pendergrass has really solidified the center field position, a position once held by the right fielder now, Aiden Robbins. As we're ready for Volantis on the 0-2. Got him swinging up top.
Well, that's going to be the key tonight, it feels like, for Oregon. Can you hit this one? And can you force it in the zone? Well, they forced it in the zone. He threw 2 straight curveballs to get to an 0-2 count. This is probably the worst of the 3. Was in a spot that Laya could have done some damage with, but first strikeout of the game on 3 straight curveballs for Dylan Volantis.
And it brings up Ryan Cooney, one of the veterans here, upperclassman, the junior. And all of a sudden, Volantis is throwing 4 consecutive strikes.
Well, they know what they're going to get. You're talking to the hitting coach here with the Ducks, Jack Martyr, just about the approach. And they're really, as a club, going to try to let the ball travel and use the backside. We saw Jimenez do that beautifully, the first hitter, but they know there's so much soft. If you get out in front against Volantis, he's going to punch out double digits.
And you saw the 3-hole hitter, Cooney, square there to lay one down. Everyone in the lineup, 1 through 9, has been asked to do that, and they will do that. Cooney hits .335 with 8 homers on the year. Jimenez off first. That one's in the dirt, blocked. He's now off to second, and he will slide head first and stay there. Ball got away from Carson Tinney. Jimenez was off and going.
We talked about aggressiveness, and Oregon hasn't stole as many bases as Texas this year, but Jimenez is a guy that they really trust on the base pass. Good secondary. Didn't wait to see how far that got away from Tinney. Just broke right when he saw it going in the dirt.
Yeah, only 64 steals this year. Cooney's got a runner in scoring position, and fouls one off the end of the bat. Volantis is a giant out there. He is 6'6", 220 out of Thousand Oaks, California, 9-1 on the year. A 194 ERA, which was the same ERA he had in his freshman year. This year he started a lot more games, 14. Last year, 1. Cooney is gone in the dirt. Tinney, watch out for that bat, throws down to first. And back-to-back punch-outs for Volantis as you take a look at the head coach for the Longhorns, Jim Schlossnagle. 7 College World Series appearances as a head coach. He obviously turned the TCU program around. He was at A&M. And as Wazakowski said, there's a reason he's like the highest paid guy, and the A&M fans don't like him because he's just really good at what he does.
Yes, he
He's
is.
won a whole lot.
Drew Smith, cleanup hitter.
I'd say he's got that one going tonight.
I think he's feeling that one. And you can game plan for this kid all you want. The way he tunnels the fastball and the breaking ball and how good the trajectory is of that breaking ball, guys just don't see it, especially first time through.
One ball, 1 strike.
It's such a high release height,
Yes.
and everything comes straight downhill at you. That one comes right out of his hand like a fastball, and then it just dives at home plate.
Virtually impossible to emulate the release point. The 1-1 coming to Smith. Off his foot. Crowd didn't necessarily see it. They reacted. Thought Tinney was there to make the play, but it bounced off the foot. Foul ball and a 1-2 count.
We talked to some of these Oregon hitters about facing Volantis and just asked if there's anybody similar this year. The closest they could come up with was Mason Edwards, the left-hander from SC that leads the country at strikeout. Stuff profile is a little bit different, but you can watch all the film you want. It's not easy to prepare for this curveball.
Looking to make it 3 consecutive strikeouts. Not there. It's too far outside.
That's a good take. Those are the ones you've got to be able to spit on. Veteran hitter doing a nice job of slowing his heartbeat down.
This kid's had a really good career.
So you get the curveball, then you get the shorter cutter there. And with the base open, it wouldn't shock me if he goes back to a ball down and out of the zone again.
Smith had a phenomenal regional in Eugene. Went 6 for 11, a 5.45 average. Trying to get the Supers off to a great start. 3-2. That one is by Tinney as well. Goes off the screen. He comes back. It is first and third. After getting ahead 1-2, Smith draws the walk.
Pretty nice at bat right there.
Yeah, he took 2 curveballs down and out of the zone. Took one after he swung through the first, and they went cutter heavy at the end. It was cutter.
Well, they're calling a hit by pitch. Returning the runner.
Yeah, they're going to, I think Mark Wasikowski's going to take a look at this because Drew Smith on first base immediately said check it.
Our home plate umpire is Wilson Taylor. We'll take a look through the replay.
No.
Didn't come close to him. As you can see, it went off Tinney's left arm. And when the discussion is done, we'll have Braden Jackson step to the plate. You look at the lineup construction, the roster construction for Wasikowski and Oregon. There are, as you mentioned, 3 prominent freshmen. And they will point to about 27 games ago when they brought Nalivo Milwaukee into the lineup. And the 3 freshmen since then, including Milwaukee, have been the best hitters on this Oregon team.
Yeah, and these are the kind of at-bats you're here we go.
Oregon has challenged the call of a hit batter on the field. The previous play is under review.
Yeah, part of this is if the batter was hit, which we've seen already, a replay wasn't, then the runner at third would have to go back, Jimenez to second.
Yeah, it's off Tinney's arm.
Shouldn't take very long.
No.
I wonder what took so long to to get to the review. Like, I mean, there was a long conversation out on the field about whether or not to review it or not, but this is a no-brainer.
The folks back in Review Room Central have already looked at it several times, and they will be able to relay that message.
Where are they at, Rev?
To
They're Pittsburgh.
with a
right there.
Just thousands of monitors
everywhere.
so they can see everything, Berkey.
Yeah, and this you don't need thousands of monitors to
No.
see this one. Guys, while we're waiting, Dayton Taki, who might have had the biggest hit in the regional round to send Georgia Tech home, he's got a 3-run homer already.
He does.
For the Sooners.
What a touchdown in the Big 8 battle. 7-0 Sooners right now.
Sooners have 3 homers. That is an offense. Early in the year, that team was playing at a top 10 level. Like, they were really
in the
good.
top 10.
And then the pitching went sideways. Some of the bats cooled off. But this version of Oklahoma is pretty scary.
Dangerous. You want to talk about the elephants in the room I mentioned that are now elephants in Omaha? First time since 2016 that we're going to have 2 first-timers there, Troy.
Yeah.
And no drama. I mean,
No.
West Virginia obviously just hammered Cal Poly, and then Troy acted like they were super regional veterans. I mean, not only did you'd think the team would maybe play a little tight with the whole city showing up. They certainly did not.
How about the fact yesterday we broke 3 attendance records? Auburn broke theirs, Troy broke theirs, West Virginia broke theirs. They had to bring in bleachers from Gulf Shores, Alabama to Troy. They didn't have the bleachers in Troy. They had to truck them in and put them beyond the left field fence. Come on, gents. Let's go.
What?
The Troy head coach brought up one of the other aspects of Omaha in a post-game interview.
Yeah, he sounded like the good folks from Troy may be attacking some Jello shots when they get there.
After review, the call on the field is overturned. The runner was not hit by the pitch. This runner will stay at third. Oregon has 2 challenges remaining.
You don't lose the challenge when you are correct. And a big opportunity here for the Ducks on the road with a freshman who is a specimen in himself with his size. There was some loud noises during the batting practice, and Braden Jackson was making a lot of them. 6'6". Steps in with Jimenez at third, Smith at first. And he looks at a pitch in at 93 to fall behind 0-1.
Now watch out here. This is a West Coast team that I promise you they got some tricks up their sleeve. 2 outs, first and third, left-handed pitcher on the mound. There are a lot of different things they can do here offensively.
Smith a half dozen steals, not going here, and a slow one, and it's foul on the third base side. So Volantis ahead 0-2.
And now with 2 strikes, it's usually on. Personally, I like the one where both guys go at the same time. If he picks, you steal home. If he doesn't, the guy at third puts on the brakes. I would be shocked if Oregon doesn't try to do something here to either draw a balk or go double steal.
Jackson hits 250 with 2 strikes. Dancing at third is Jimenez. Nobody's moving here. He got him. A swing and a miss, and Volantis, after giving up the leadoff single, will walk off the mound having thrown 21 pitches. He strikes out 3, and the Longhorns come to the dish. And this is certainly a team capable of doing it. We've talked about the top 3 here. Mendoza, Rodriguez have been banged up a little bit. The outfield got solidified by Pendergrass, and you can see what Robbins did. 4 homers, 9 RBIs. He was the regional most valuable player. Now on the other side, Oregon decides not to start the regional most outstanding player, who happened to be Will Sanford, the pitcher. Instead, they go with Cal Scolari, and Scolari is equally impressive. He just didn't win the outstanding player in Eugene.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of 1 and 1A as far as Oregon for starters, especially stuff-wise, too. Fastball, a couple different breakables, a curveball and a slider. Fastball is what he's going to throw more than anything else. The one thing to watch for Scolari, he did walk 5 guys in the region, 5 guys in 4 1/3. He's walked over 5 per night, and he is facing one of the most, if not the most patient offense in the entire country. They will force him to throw strikes, especially at home.
The Oregon Ducks last made it to the World Series in 1954, and they lost 2 games there, Arizona and the University of Massachusetts. So Aiden Robbins will get set to step in. The Seton Hall transfer, who was pursued by just about every team in the SEC, ends up here with the Longhorns, partly because he was promised he was going to be the center fielder. He's obviously the right fielder, but he can hit. Scolari's first one is off. Big numbers, 347 average, 62 RBI, 23 homers. And interestingly, acknowledged that hitting first in a game isn't necessarily things that make him most comfortable. It's 1-1. I mean, that conversation we had was interesting, wasn't it?
It was that.
At the very least, it was interesting.
It was that. The power has jumped significantly. First 2 years at Seton Hall, 12 combined home runs. This year, 23. But it's a lot of that to Troy Tulowitzki and the offensive approach that he's instilled.
Well, one thing that I take from every time I meet with Aiden Robbins, especially yesterday, just talking about some of his struggles in the leadoff roles, he's just so comfortable in his own skin. Like he's not making excuses. He's not hiding from it. He's just being honest. Like, my first at bat hasn't been great lately.
3-1.
certainly hasn't affected him the rest of the game.
No. Diving catch last week in regionals.
4 home runs.
He's got 15 leadoff hits this season. He's got a 3-1 count from Scolari. And he will draw the walk. Well, you just mentioned that is a bit of a concern and an issue, and it rears its head early here to bring up Carson Tinney. Another transfer, he comes over from Notre Dame.
Well, we talked about if you're going to have a chance against this Texas lineup, you got to take care of the top 3, and starting with a leadoff walk is certainly not the design. This dude right here can change the outlook of a game with one swing of the bat. As much raw power as anybody in the sport.
That's been the miss on the arm side. It comes too far inside to Carson Tinney. In the year of the catcher in college baseball, he's raised his hand and entered the chat in a big way. 21 homers. Wind blowing out to left. Another one that missed just up. It's 2 balls and no strikes. Scolari and Sanford, who we'll see in game 2, 33 and 32 times they had their batters caught looking. So they are deceptive in what they throw, and they are unpredictable. A lot of that credit goes to Matt Floor, the pitching coach.
It is interesting, though. They say Scolari has a lot of cut to the fastball. So far, we've seen a bunch of arm side run.
And this one is lifted to right field. Laya is out there, and he is there to make the play. Angel Laya in right, 1 out off the end of the bat for Tinney.
Now, that was a little cut to that fastball right there, just enough to get off the barrel.
Off the barrel.
Yep. Maybe that'll settle him in here. That was much more in line with what his fastball's supposed to do.
And here is Mr. Excitement himself, the freshman Anthony Pack Jr., the left fielder, who walked onto campus confident, not cocky, knew he belonged, and has only proven it with a .358 average. 0-1. Talked to his teammates about Pack. They talk about his discipline, his self-discipline as a freshman. And this is a middle of the order guy, hitting 3 for the Longhorns.
And he led the SEC in conference play and hitting. I mean, that is not true freshman stuff. In a year where there's probably going to be half a dozen or so SEC starters picked in the first 40 picks, Anthony Pack Jr. hit 400 in SEC play.
0-1. Robbins with a lead, not going. In the dirt. This is a very difficult team to run on, and Texas likes to run a lot.
Yeah, Berkeley maybe is the second highest percentage of throwing base runners out in the entire country this year. Against Scolari this year, base runners have been successful just 2 of 6 times.
Which is pretty wild. He's not fast to the plate. I mean, it's a significant, sizable leg kick, but that just tells you how much they respect Mabius.
Josh Elander, the head man at Tennessee, talked about Pack. He said he's always able to make a mess of the game in a good way. Robbins with the oven mitts on both hands. Just a fantastic athlete from the Northeast. Fan of all things Philadelphia. 2-1 to Pack Jr. Almost got him. It's 3-1. Scolari living dangerously, falling behind.
You got a red-hot hitter and a 3-1 count, and a fastball KP that likes to cut back in towards left-handed hitters. Anthony Pack, one of the things he's learned how to do this season is get the head out. You know he's thinking that here.
96 in on his fists.
Yeah, that was another one that had just enough cut.
Yep.
Just enough cut to get it in off the plate, make it a little bit tougher for Pack Jr. to handle it.
To put an exclamation point on Berkey's point about freshmen, since 2000, only 3 have led Texas in batting average. Omar Quintanilla in 01, Eric Weiss in 11, and Eric Kennedy in 2019. That's pretty exclusive company for Pack. Who's ready on a 3-2? Not yet.
Oregon knows they're probably going to move him because they trust Pack to put this ball in play. So they're keeping Robbins honest over there.
He is going, and that ball is yanked high and deep down the line in right. Just foul, not by much.
No. I'm just telling you, this kid right now, he looks like he's playing wiffle ball in the backyard. I mean, the ball looks like it is moving very slow to him. And Scolari's, it feels like he's going to have to decelerate one, KP, or try to get one moving away from that barrel.
He just didn't have a lot of deceleration in the bag of tricks.
Robbins off again.
There it is.
The throw down is safe. There was no call, but Pack is going to take first with a walk.
Well, he went to the breaking ball, but it just didn't quite get back to the outside edge.
Yeah, it's a tough time to throw that one for the first time today.
But it felt like the right pitch call because Pack was certainly dialed in on that cut fastball.
You don't like to see one go 380 feet down
Well,
the
if
line?
I'm in the Oregon dugout, it felt like the right
As a
pitch
pitcher.
call. Yes.
Yeah, not my favorite. After Oregon had an opportunity, first and third in the top, they didn't score. Now first and second for Temo Becerra, the second baseman. He takes the first one on the outside, 0-1. Becerra, one of the best hitters against breaking balls on this team. He kills all of them. Change, split, breaking ball, fastballs. There are others ahead of him, and that one is fouled out of play.
And all of a sudden, boys, it is a gale force wind blowing out to left field.
Yep.
2-club wind to left right now.
Speed on the bases for the Longhorns. We're in the bottom of the first, 0-0. Outside to Becerra. Watch all these other super regionals and teams get men on, and you wonder how they do with men on. Texas is as good as it gets. Second in the conference, 335 runners in scoring position. That's a good one. That was a good one. An 81 to lock him up.
We talk about the two different breaking balls. This was the curveball. When he tried to throw to Pack, couldn't get it to come back over the plate. This one looked like it just froze Becerra. He wasn't looking for that. That's a big pitch when you need it out.
Now it's up to Adrian Rodriguez, the shortstop. The sophomore hitting 298 on the year. He's got a terrific eye, more walks than strikeouts. 1-0. Sophomore to Flower Mound, Texas. Trying to add to his RBI total and put the Longhorns on the board first. Another one that isn't there for a strike.
Starting to find that curveball now. He's actually done a little better against left-handers, which typically you'd think would mean that he's got a plus changeup. Doesn't even really throw one, but really trusts that breaking ball.
The curveball this year is actually the pitch he throws for the highest percentage of strikes.
They throw behind Robbins. His numbers against lefties, sliders, the opponents hit .091 against it. The curveball 103. Fastballs get tagged a little bit, so it wouldn't be
Pretty good breaking ball.
wouldn't be a surprise to see more of that to Rodriguez. Missed high with the heat. The outfield fairly shallow. Jimenez in left, Jack Brooks in center, and Laya in right field. Rodriguez, this one's over the head of the shortstop, and that is going all the way to the wall. Robbins scores. Pack Jr.'s got to score. Rodriguez delivers, and the Horns jump on the board first with a clutch 2-out, 2 RBI double for Adrian Rodriguez. Playing so shallow may have hurt him there, the inability to cut that ball off.
Yeah, well, first, how about Rodriguez staying on this cutter, KP, something that just sits out over the plate for him, and then you notice the positioning there.
I mean, this ball's hit hard, but if you're playing deeper, it feels like you got a chance to cut it off, and you got a chance to cut it off. You may hold Pack from scoring. He may be standing at third base, but they're playing pretty shallow out in the left field. And I know Rodriguez, when they look at his stat sheet, only has 4 home runs, but when he gets through it, he's still got some pretty good juice. He did right there to get the Horns on the board.
Yeah, big time hit for the sophomore. Here's Ethan Mendoza, and that first pitch is in there. So you give Dylan Volantis a 2-0 lead.
Don't forget, Tomas Valincas had a 7-0 lead today. So if you'd have told me that game wasn't safe, I would have not believed you, and it wasn't close to safe.
Off to third base, and that ball is fouled off. Boy, Rodriguez had the bag stolen. It would have been his 14th. But Mendoza fouls it back off the screen.
It's interesting that Drew Smith even went to cover there. To me, right-handed hitter up, 2 outs and a runner at second base. Like, I'm going to let him have it.
Yeah.
Last thing I want to do is vacate third and let a ground ball score another run. But he went to cover for sure.
Good job behind the plate.
The storyline here is, boys, the 2 walks kill him, right? I mean, and I get it. You're settling into a big environment. Your first time pitching in an atmosphere like this, but man, walking Robbins and Pack Jr. and then that clutch 2-out RBI hit.
The reality is, with the left-hander on the other side, you don't have the luxury of settling in. Because if they get you early, sometimes that's enough.
1-2 to Mendoza. Foul ball. He saw that off-speed pitch really well and took it off the turf. Volantis stretching to get back on the mound. He struck out 3 in the first, but he had some traffic to deal with. Larry's 27th pitch of the inning, but first he throws behind Rodriguez.
High stress pitches here early in the ball game.
And for both starters. Son has a little issue on the right side of the infield with Jackson at first covering his eyes. Count even up 2-2.
Rather, you said it. It looks like Mendoza's seeing that breaking ball. I think, you get the breaking ball just misses staying down the third baseline, and then a pretty easy take right there. Feels like you got to go back to that 4-seamer right here.
Hit from Bedford, Texas, who is living out his dream. Playing for the Horns. High chopper, fielded by Scolari. Has some time, fires, and he gets him. They put up a crooked number in the first. For the 15th time they have done it. And the news is good. They've won 13 of the previous 14. Volantis back to the bump.
Not all ducks fly south for the winter. Now we know why.
And that ball is gone!
Because this flock from Oregon was waiting to fly south in the summer, way southwest to Austin and south central to Omaha, where no baseball team from Eugene has migrated in 72 years.
It's been a while, but things are absolutely changing in Oregon, where they have often played in the shadow of Oregon State. Two schools separated by less than an hour. But the Ducks are quacking real loud. Volantis, 1 ball, 1 strike. Berkeley Mabius. And he does spell it hyphenated Berkeley, but named after Berkeley. That's going to be a fair ball. Tinney right out in front of home. He is there to make an easy out. We got a chance to sit down and talk with several of the Longhorns, including Volantis. But before he walked into the room, the other 3 guys that were in there were talking about how sweet and gentle.
Kind.
Yes. Adjectives, you know, sometimes associated with baseball players, but not often. And certainly not a guy who's looked at as an animal on the mound. Because that one is out of play, but they were unanimous in their praise of that game right there.
He lives life at a wonderful pace. And he's done it. He did it last year. He's a freshman closer. He was the exact same way. This year pushed into the starter's role and has been outstanding.
This is Nalivo Milwaukee, and he sends one to right. That's going to get down. It's a little squibber, and he's running hard to second base. And he is going to get in there with a stand-up double. Hardly the exit velocity you're used to off the bat of Milwaukee, but a little cue ball gets him in a scoring position with 1 down.
Yeah, he certainly hit harder balls this year, but they will take it. Junior Milwaukee with a little cue ball down the right field line. They will take him how they can get him off Volantis. Really tough guy to square up. But look at the freshman that they run at you here. Laya's considered the small one at 6'3", 206.
What did you say when you're down in the cage? Man, Laya's pretty good size.
Yeah.
I looked at you like, what?
Yeah,
Who are the other guys?
He'll fill out.
Not on this team. Volantis gets ahead. It's sort of a front court basketball lineup they just threw out there.
No question. Yes. A lot of power forwards on this team.
Maddox Maloney. Right back up the middle, and they will throw behind Milwaukee. He's in a rundown. And he is tagged out. Mistake there. Great heads-up play by Volantis.
KP, I like how he gave it up early.
Yep.
Usually they tell you to run at the guy, but once he's frozen, especially your big left-handed ace, get the ball out of your hand, get it to a middle infielder. So watch, first thing he's doing to catch this baseball, look at the runner. Stop his feet, and then now you have him shuffling back. Give the ball up. Becerra, Borba, and now Milwaukee. I don't think dancing or, shuttle runs are his strength, and the Longhorns make that rundown look easy.
1-4-5 on the putout. And here's Brooks, the 9-hitter. Squares, pulls back, 1-0.
Well, we talk about the freshman. That's a bit of a freshman mistake right there.
Yeah.
Cost you an opportunity to hit with runners in scoring position.
7 of 9 first pitch strikes from Volantis. 2-0. Takes a deep breath on the mound, and then obviously he fielded it and threw it. You can see him taking a few deep breaths after that play.
Yeah, he was huffing and puffing a little bit in the first too. It's muggy out there.
And this ball is lifted up shallow left field. Pack is going out. Watch out! He holds on to it as he avoids a terrible collision with the shortstop Rodriguez. Is right. One had disaster written all over him.
Well, he can go do this too. Good to be left-handed right here, I'll tell you that, because he just kind of steals it right at the last minute. Rodriguez gets out of the way. Another scoreless inning for Dylan Volantis, and an early 2-0 Texas lead.
All right, Shicky, thank you very much. Good numbers. When you can walk and you're talkie, that's a walkie-talkie on the home
Okay.
run.
Oh, no.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll be here all week. Ashton Larson swings and fouls one off.
It is amazing how many kids rise to the moment in the postseason. The Jay Boroff story for Troy.
Another
is
one this
just-
weekend.
All he does is hit
I
homers.
think he had two
Did
more.
he?
I think he had two more.
He had
this
at least
weekend.
one, I know
Yeah.
that.
I think he had two the first game. But yeah, and Dayton, he's hitting in the 8-hole.
Yep.
So you just get these guys that there's zero reason looking on the scoreboard at their season statistics that they should turn into Barry Bonds, but it happens, and there's some really neat ones this postseason.
The 0-2, and a swing and a miss as the strikeout of Larson to start the bottom of the second. All right, so this is the right side of the bracket. You got the right and the left. This is the right with Kansas and Oklahoma. You heard Matt Schick back in the studio. It's all Oklahoma right now. Alabama and St. John's getting started. Texas and Oregon. And that was a really fun game to watch. Georgia and Mississippi State. 11 homers, a 7-0 lead. And as you mentioned, one of the best pitchers trying to protect it who couldn't. This ball is hit hard. Right field with some carry. Borba. Blast! Casey Borba hitting in that second cleanup spot, the 8th hole. He hits his 18th home run of the season, and the Horns got a 3-0 lead. So there they are, the first Power 4 team in the BB Core era. 100 homers, 100 steals. BB Core era started in 2011-12.
I think we need to advance past the BB
Yeah,
Core.
this is not that. This is the.
I understand the idea behind it because of how far it was. This is, they flying now.
Yeah, we are in the live ball era. Well, and Casey Borba, you know, this team hit 12 home runs last weekend. Casey Borba was one of the few hitters in this lineup, just went 2 for 14 last weekend. One of the few hitters in this lineup that struggled. But when he gets hot, he can catch a heater like anybody in this lineup. And that is a welcome sign for him to launch the first pitch he sees here in this Super.
You mentioned it 2 minutes ago about certain guys stepping up, and you can really lengthen a lineup when the number 8 hitter is delivering that. Pendergrass, that's one on the corner for a strike. It's 3-1.
There's not a whole lot of lineups that have the 8-hole hitter that has 18 homers.
Yeah. Right. Pendergrass, a redshirt senior, hurt most of the year. And he stares, and now you have some speed on the bases with a walk to the 9-hole hitter.
Let's talk about Casey Borba. You talk about ambushing a heater up there looking for a little cut fastball on the outer half of the plate. That one actually fades back to the middle, and you watch that load and launch. Get below the baseball, get in that back knee, and that is a no-doubter on a day where the wind is howling out towards left center field. You get anything in the big part of the park in the air, it's got a chance to go. Longhorns having a lot of fun here early on.
43-13 on the year, 32-4 on their home field. As Aiden Robbins will bat for the second time. You wonder what the psyche of Robbins is, just to be on base the first time, as he jokingly said to us yesterday, if I get a hit or I get on, we're off. I mean, we're going to have a night.
I'm usually going to strike out.
That was weird. What was Bert
I don't know what he
doing
was
back
motioning.
there?
I don't know.
Throw over, I guess. They must have been getting late in the clock. He was telling him to throw over. But Robbins wasn't lying. He walks in the first at bat, and they get 3 on the first time through the order. So there it is.
Pendergrass, good lead at first. I wasn't the only one that paid attention to that. The 1-0, he's off. That one is high. Throw down, and he slides in. Safe.
You give Jim Schlossnagle a piece like Darian Pendergrass, and he's going to do some things with him. You see him up there fake bunting, drawing a walk, probably had a 3-1 take. Now he picks a breaking ball. You got a home run hitter up, 1-0 count. They're probably not going to challenge him with a heater, so he sends him in a 1-0 count. He steals the base easily. Like, Jim Schlossnagle does not get enough credit for how he gets the most out of a lineup and out of a club on the offensive side of things, because he really does a nice job for having a feel for the game.
Well, now defensively, too. I mean, you put him in center field. Robbins goes to right, which is more of his comfortable position, the position that he's used to. They like Pendergrass out in center field and his ability to go get it. And then, obviously, he can do that right there.
How about Darian Pendergrass was home all fall with no place to play? He was in the portal, didn't get picked up. They were looking for speed and a true center fielder. They scrubbed the entire portal, whatever was left in it, and they come up with this guy who's now starting in center field on a super regional team. Wasn't here until January.
4 years at Spartanburg Methodist and the College of Charleston. He did steal 43 bases last year. Joined in the winter. It's 90 degrees, and he's making a big impact. Starting to stir in that Oregon bullpen as Robbins looks at a 2-0. Toby Twist, one of the often used arms, starting to get loose. Boys, Robbins lights up when he's got a guy out there at second and third base, a 462 average with runners in scoring position.
He is Mr. Clutch for this club.
Pendergrass goes again. Throw down to third. Close one, and he's called out. Great throw from Lee Mabius.
That's going to drive Schloss nuts to get thrown out with Robbins.
Texas is challenged.
Great play by Drew Smith.
The previous play.
He's going to be called safe, fellas.
Still
Does
was
he
a
stay
great
on
play.
the base? So he's safe. Does he stay on the base?
Yeah,
Yes,
tagged
he
off.
does. Yeah.
He tackled the base.
But that is not an easy play from third base to be playing that deep and get there in time.
Well, it was all one movement, too. I mean, he slides, dropped the tag down. He got it. It looked like he got it on as quick as he could, but it was just a good slide by Pendergrass. 2 stolen bases on the year coming in, 2 in the inning now. Now you feel okay with it.
Yeah, good job.
Schloss.
Great job.
Good idea. just what I thought you were going to do right there.
Pendergrass with his left hand holds on to the bag, and then he's able to maintain it even though his left knee knocks right into that hand.
Yeah.
It kind of squishes it there. He never left the bag.
Well, the more I see it, the closer it looks. But it does appear the right hand gets in there a click before the tag.
I mentioned it's a difficult team to run against because Berkeley Mabius has been so good. Opponents were 21 for 41. 21 for 41 this season against the Ducks when it came to stealing bases.
That's the right hand. Right hand got there first.
Yep.
And the left hand had to stay on the bag, and it did. This is the best look.
Yeah. Two challenging calls for the replay review room back in Pittsburgh that have taken some time. But Pendergrass' impact in center field and on the bases. impacting this game.
I'm in favor of the 90-second rule. We either know in 90 seconds or we leave the call on the field.
I'd be fine with 60.
60.
I think that angle's a little deceptive because I think the backside angle shows that the glove actually, even here, is sort of in between the two hands.
Yeah, I feel like the first tag is on the left hand.
It is.
And the right hand's already on the back.
But that is, it is razor close.
After review, the call of out is overturned. It's safe. Texas has 2 challenges remaining.
Well, now the Ducks will bring that infield in. Steal the bag, changes the offensive defense pretty significantly. 3-1 count coming to Aiden Robbins.
3-1 count with the infield drawn in. You talk about a green light special.
And only 1 out. So we take that called out off the scoreboard. And Robbins sends this one to deep right field. It sends Laya back short of the track, but plenty of time to bring in the 4th run of the game. The speed of Pendergrass, 2 stolen bases, leads to the 4th run, and the Horns put another crooked number up.
Well, another walk, boys. That's now 3 walks, and all of them have scored.
3 of the 4 runs.
And that's a professional at bat by Aiden Robbins. A 3-1 breaking ball that he elevates to the backside. Longhorns are playing some nice situational baseball here.
63rd one batted in for Robbins, and it gets us to Tinney. Curveball lands, it's 0-1. Borba's home run, 34th, ties in with Cody Clemens for the 6th most all-time in Texas program history.
Hey now, anytime you can put your name next to a Clemens around here, you're doing something.
That's right.
That's pretty good. Former Big 12 Player of the Year.
Big leaguer.
Big leaguer.
Pretty successful big leaguer, too.
Tinney, the game plan is you gotta stay up, and then when you throw the breaking ball, you really gotta bounce it. He does a nice job of sitting on breaking balls, especially late in the count.
Didn't chase there. Tinney was funny yesterday. He talked about growing up. We asked him in the room, like, do you enjoy catching? Were you always a catcher? Oh, no, I was an outfielder. But then I put on a little too much weight to run around. I think he used the word a little chubby.
Yeah, and the animated gear.
You think about this battery with Tinney, who was an outfielder and then claimed he was a little bit out of shape. He then got moved to catcher. And Volantis was telling us that he was always like on the B team, basically until he was 12 or 13. He kept getting cut, demoted. 3-2. We got one to hit there, and it's a 2-hopper to Smith at third. And he is gone, but another crooked number, partly delivered by a Borba blast.
Boy, it's a quick start here by the Longhorns. A launch piece to the backside. Casey Borba doing the heavy lifting on the backside of this break. We will talk to the Longhorn skipper, Jim Schlossnagle.
Welcome again back to the NCAA Baseball Super Regionals. They are presented by Capital One. Jim Schlossnagle kind enough to join us. A lot of your stars get a lot of shine, but let's talk about what your center fielder has meant to your team in his return.
Yeah, he's really meant a lot. You know, we brought him in the middle of the year and had plans on him having a chance to compete in center field, and then he was hurt, had a bad back, and then some leg things. He finally got healthy, and now it gives us an added dimension on defense in center field, and the opportunity to get on base and run the bases a little bit.
He sure did tonight. Coach, thanks very much.
All right, hook 'em.
Thanks, Sauce.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, I think the one thing about college baseball that you appreciate the more you're around it is that there are certain players that are kind of set in stone, but for a while it felt like Robbins was supposed to be the center fielder. Hey, you come here, you're going to play center field.
Oh,
he was excited about getting back there, but it's a constantly evolving set of players with the exception of maybe 3 or 4.
Yeah, well, I think they gave Robbins a pretty long leash out there in center field, and they finally realized once Pendergrass got healthy enough that the best version of this team included a rangier center fielder. Plus, you get Robbins in right field, so now you get better at 2 spots. And give Robbins a bunch of credit because he was already off to an All-American start, and he handled it like a pro, and he's done nothing but continued to lead this team since.
Jax Jimenez underneath it, and it sends it to a fan here in the stands at Dish Falk. (43-13). Mentioned their home record here with just 4 losses, 19-10 in the conference. Nearly a +4 run differential. The team ERA is 4.10, but they're very capable of putting zeros up on the board. And that is what Volantis is doing here in the top of the 3rd.
Yeah, it's really a team that hangs their hat on their pitching. The offense for a lot of the year was pretty top-heavy with Robbins and Tenney, but the back end of this offense has certainly played better down the stretch. Becerra's had a nice second half. Borba's hit a ton of homers. Rodriguez.
Mendoza had a good regional.
Volantis on the 0-2, and that is going to squirt into right field. Good piece of hitting. And again, the leadoff man now 2 for 2 today, and Jax Jimenez.
He's listening to the scouting report. He's done a really nice job. Two at-bats, 2 backside rockets.
Well, there's been a lot of odd things that have happened so far in the Supers. Texas has only blown 1 4-run lead in the tournament over the last 20 years, and that was last year against UTSA. Once in the last 20. Berkey will point out that one of the better pitchers in the country had a 7-0 lead and couldn't hold it today.
And it didn't make it through the 4th.
Yeah. Well, then they went to Bauer. You go left-hander throwing 100. It's usually a pretty good 1-2 punch.
Georgia had other ideas.
We know this from watching Georgia, too, in the SEC tournament. There is no lead. They don't think that they can't come back.
Especially in that ballpark. They take full advantage of the ballpark effect at Foley Field. Heard the stat today. The last 149 teams that had a 7-0 lead won the baseball game in the postseason. Tell the day. That is not a small sample size.
Volantis lands it in spite of the fact that Lyo was squaring.
Well, it is going to be interesting in that one, though, tomorrow, just because Georgia kind of mortgaged the farm to win that one from a pitching standpoint. So it does feel like Mississippi State's well-positioned, at least on paper.
Viggy wore a liner, too. He came out of that game.
That is a swing and a strikeout. Number 4 for Volantis.
Got beat with a fastball the last time up to Jimenez. Now this time just goes straight back to old reliable. Second time he struck out Lyon today. That one on another curveball. 4 strikeouts, 3 in the first. Now 1 in the third for Volantis. All of them swinging.
Same as last year. This time just as a starter. Best among active Division I players. And he went a little sidearm
He went
there.
across his body, too. That's a different look. This is
Chris Salish.
Yeah, and this is kind of like the discussion we were having with the Texas pitchers yesterday about just every once in a while they just try stuff. I hadn't seen him do that all year, and I think I've seen 4 or 5 stars.
He's been watching Riojas's bullpens,
Yeah.
I think, maybe.
Well, that guy's responsible. I mean, I do think it's fair to call him Mad Max, sort of the Mad Max scientist, because as all those guys were telling us yesterday, he's open to pretty much anything when it comes to pitching. I don't know about off the field. I'm not putting ketchup on ice cream, but he will listen to anything that a pitcher has to say. What if we try this? He says, sure. And then the
Let's see if
numbers
it works.
And the numbers will
are
either
gonna tell
back
us.
it up or defeat it.
Yeah.
3-1. It's also funny talking to Volantis about some of the pitches he threw before he got here and said, I really thought that was a really good pitch. And then you get on these machines and you realize, that wasn't really good, was it? I just got guys out. That's ball 4. Volantis now has 2 men on and 1 down.
All right, well, here's Oregon's shot. You got a couple base runners on right here in the middle of your lineup, already down a 4 spot. This feels like a big half inning here for the Ducks. You're not going to get a ton of these, first and second.
No, especially with
one
a
out.
walk.
Yeah, and you got your only senior in the lineup that's hitting right now. A guy that's essentially been a starter all 4 years, all Big Ten this year. It is refreshing, I guess, when you look at Oregon's roster for the most part, but their lineup, they're homegrown. They're guys that they recruited and they've come from the program and they've stayed around, and it is not packed with a bunch of portal guys.
Falling behind 2-0, and he bends one in there for a strike.
Yeah, all 9 starters are homegrown.
Yep.
You just don't see that much anymore. Certainly not from a team that's playing for a chance to go to the College World Series. Pretty impressive, really, what they built here with high school recruiting.
Out of play for Smith, who earned a spot on the all-regional tournament team. 3rd time in as many years. He's also done it at 3 different positions. Second baseman, outfielder, and obviously this year he's back on the infield.
He kind of strikes you as one of those guys that might end up playing in the big leagues one day. Just solid, steady. You know he can play all over the field, can hit the ball in the
Reminds me
ballpark.
Mark Loretta.
Good call.
2-2. Off the glove at Tinney, heading to third base. There will be a throw, but sliding in safely is the very athletic Jimenez.
Tinney's had a few kind of wiggle away from him tonight.
Well, Volantis too. I mean, he's known for control. Again, coming in 23 walks and 83 and a third. That's a big miss with a fastball. Timmy's got to go a long ways. I mean, is it a play you can make? Yes. Is it one that you're anticipating with Volantis on the mound? Not at all.
Back-to-back walks, and the bases are loaded with Oregon Ducks. Now you got a real chance.
Well, Jackson had an opportunity his first at bat. It didn't go great. Let's see if he went to school here and can make that breaking ball start up. Max Wiener's going to go have a chat with his star left-hander, who just looks a little shaky here in this inning, boys. Here comes a big smile.
It is warm. I mean, it is in the upper 80s, and you can tell the humidity is a factor as well. The ball will carry out to left. And you're looking at an Oregon team similar to Texas. We mentioned how successful they've been with runners in scoring position last week, fellas, in the regional, and they crushed the regional, but they hit .419 with runners in scoring position. Latest news, insights, in-depth analysis from the Super Regionals. Visit ncaa.com. About 8:15 here in Austin, Texas. Kyle Peterson, Chris Burke, Carl Ravish. Bases loaded, trailing by 4. And Braden Jackson. Exit ball 1. What are you seeing, KP?
What I'm seeing is the one he's really been able to control tonight has been the curveball. And I'm a little bit surprised they didn't open with it, because the last time that Jackson was up there, he did not look comfortable against that curveball. The changeup.
Best one of the night right there.
Well, I think those are the first 2 he's thrown the whole night.
So they're the best too.
And maths right there, yes.
Uh-oh, that hit him? No.
No.
He's just having a hard time getting the ball to his glove side, KP. It looks like everything's running away from him. And we're seeing, feels like more arm side misses than normal. And there he tries to get one to the glove side and just buries it.
Walked 4 in a game against Auburn, and he's in danger again. And Tinney's having a hard time squeezing the melon there. It's 3-1.
Man, this is just not something you see every day from Dylan Valanis.
Those 4 walks against Auburn were a season high. He has not walked more than 2 in a game other than that. 3-1. Swing and a miss. 92.
That's when you needed one. You need to be able to throw the fastball over. Jackson thought he was going to get it. That was well placed. Now see where Volantis wants to go here. 3-2, bases juiced.
What a moment for both the freshmen. Jackson looks at it. Swing and a miss, and he got him. Volantis needed to, and he got to.
Well, when all the chips are down, KP, you're going to go to your best pitch.
Let's go back to Old Reliable. Because Old Reliable is one of the most reliable pitches in the country. He had to work to get back to a 3-2 count. Then you got to execute. And ultimately he does. Jack's out in front. Strikes out for the second time on that curveball, but this time with the bases loaded.
Now left on left. Berkeley Mabius. They have yet to get a hit with runners in scoring position. Loaded. Jimenez, Cooney, Smith. On the ground to second. Plenty of time over there for Becerra, who fires to first. And Berkeley Mabius is retired. They had him on the ropes, and Volantis is able to get off. It's 4-0. Texas Longhorns, the baseball team, trying to do what the women's softball team just did. That's win a College World Series. Texas women did it for the 2nd straight season, beating Texas Tech in the finals, 2-0. And everybody on this campus strives for championships. They got a bunch of them.
Yeah.
That's when you don't mind changing the banner. You can add another number to those national championships just beyond the right center field fence.
71 all-time national championships, 67 NCAA crowns. 3rd team this year for Texas to win a title. And a big swing and a miss from Pack Jr. The men's swimming and diving won the national title in March. Rowing claimed the national championship on May 31. And the star was Tegan Kavan, and there she is, the most outstanding player. Back-to-back seasons, by the
last
way.
2 years. Texas had to come through the losers bracket, too.
Katie Stewart, 4 homers over the series, and Mike White. This team went 11-2 in the tournament. Congratulations. And congratulations to the ESPN crew who did such a great job covering the Women's College World Series. One and 2 to the freshman, Pack Jr. And he is gone. A smile on his face. Just a quick conversation. Everywhere you look, younger players are making impacts quicker. Surprised that somebody in this conference can do what he just did this season?
Based on what they said in the fall?
Well, him specifically, I think the power surprises me. What surprised me most is that a true freshman could lead the league in hitting in conference play. I think that is a wow statistic That said, the cream of the crop programs like Texas are always going to have blue chip kids. They might not have as many as they used to on the high school side because they're going to recruit portal players. But the high school kids, they do take KP. They're going to expect those kids to come in ready to play. Now, they're not all going to live up to what Anthony Pack Jr. did, but I would say leading the league in average is a pretty shocking number.
You know who really wanted Anthony Pack Jr. bad? A lot of schools, but you know who really, really wanted him? Oregon. And they were really close.
Mm-hmm. Well, they do a pretty nice job keeping kids on the West Coast at home. And we know that there's been a lot of West Coast kids that have made a huge impact in the Southeastern Conference, but Oregon has won their fair share of those recruiting battles as well.
Pack Jr., the freshman of the year, could be the freshman of the year
nationally
in the country.
Yeah.
And he is a California kid. He strikes out after drawing a walk and scoring a run in the first. Second baseman Becerra. Way inside, drilled him right above the knee.
Scolari has scattered this thing a little bit. Two-seamer there that just darts in on the back knee, and that is not going to feel great in the morning.
He just hadn't got ahead enough. When he gets ahead, the curveball is very good. But he's been fighting from behind, and again, we talked about it early. This is a Texas offense that will force you to throw the baseball over the plate. You see over 4 pitches in at bat on average over the course of the season.
First one to Rodriguez. He had the very big hit. 2 RBI, double the other way in the first.
A lot of Soto in my man A-Rod's game. A lot of Soto. We got some hip action going. We're pretty animated on the takes.
In there for a strike. I mean, your nickname is A-Rod.
Yeah, but it's A-Rod nickname with a Soto act.
Decent combination for a baseball player. 1 ball, 1 strike. You guys made the point, you know, Scolari hasn't been getting ahead. How about the job Jason DeCaro did today for Carolina, who was ahead all day long on his way to a complete game?
How about the fact, I mean, DeCaro's been in the starting rotation from day one when he showed up on campus. First career complete game. And USC did not have a hitter reach second base the whole day. That's control in the lineup.
In the biggest of moments.
Needed a win, force a game 3.
And you saved the bullpen. You saved that great North Carolina bullpen who now, I mean, they'll probably start Folger Boaz like they normally do game 3, but they can go right to Glauber.
He hasn't thrown a pitch yet in Super
and
through 2 games.
McDuffie hasn't thrown a ton.
Yeah.
So I'm sure Carolina likes where they're at from a pitching standpoint.
Well, they keep trying, and he's leaning out there as Becerra. Dozen stolen bases.
Oh, we're going to review that, huh?
He got him on the
Oregon
face.
is challenging the previous play.
Amazing, isn't it, how the folks that actually are sitting there looking at that video, how quick they got to be and how important they become. College basketball. Video review can win or lose a game for you.
Well, this is another one that shouldn't take that long, I wouldn't expect.
Scolari has 5 pickoffs this year as a right-handed pitcher. Well, I'm counting this one, I guess, already, but this would be his 5th.
And he gets hit in the face. Yeah, he's out. I mean, he's out easy. That throw up the line, kind of like the catcher who throws the ball up the line, it's sneaky how often that gets the runner. Like if you throw that ball inside the base like that.
Yeah, which catchers now are they're intentionally
Mm-hmm.
doing when guys are stealing second base.
It'll be the second review of a play on the bases. One at third base. where the runner was safe, and this one could take a runner off. Middle of the order guy up, and Adrian Rodriguez.
Tell you what, give Waz credit for going on this one, because this would be his last one.
I think it kind of mirrors the personality that they've exhibited yesterday, today.
He didn't lose any.
He still has both.
Thought he lost one early.
No. I think they has both.
Oh, that's right. They won the hit by pitch.
Yeah.
That's right.
That's what I'm here for.
After review, the call is overturned. The runner is out. Oregon has 2 challenges remaining.
Boy, Schloss is not happy. Look at him shaking his head. He is not happy with Mr. Becerra. That's not the glare you want.
No.
That's when you stay at the other end of the dugout.
Yeah. Tie a shoe.
I'm going to wait a minute, take my helmet back.
That is a glare right there.
That's Becerra putting his helmet in the rack there, getting an earful.
That's the old, yes, sir, my bad, coach. Move to the other side.
You're right. I'm going to go get a glove.
The 1-2. Maybe he's framed it. He's sort of nodding as if he thought that was going to be in there for a strike, but it's not. So it's 2 balls and 2 strikes from Cal Scolaria, the 6'4", 220-pound sophomore out of Nevada, Reno, Nevada. And that one is wide, 3-2. Started 11 games this year, 53 and a third. He and Will Sanford, who we'll see in game 2, who was the most outstanding pitcher in the regional. Both were scary good in the regional. He got on a chase down. That's a strikeout, and Scolari benefits by the caught-stealing pickoff. Another strikeout. Back to big number 99. Up 4-zip as we go to the 4th.
Here is Working on a Win, presented by Home Depot. Mr. Vlanis hasn't been the sharpest that we've seen him before until he gets in the jam. And when he got in the jam, he made big-time pitches. 3-2 strikeout and a 2-out ground out. 3 innings so far. Oregon has left 6 on base. Against the left-hander, you get your chances. You got to knock down the door a few times, and he's made big pitches when he's needed to. 3 walks, but he's punched out 5.
Just a sophomore, he is back again next year. 3 innings. And very rare, second most walks that he's had in a game this season, 3 of them. And he starts off a swing and a miss. One of the better stories. Now they vote Milwaukee. Oh boy, a rocket up the middle, and he can do that. Exit velocity of 112 miles an hour. Recruited as a pitcher, throws mid-90s, will go back to the mound, but inserted into a game 27 games ago and went 2 doubles and a homer, and he has not left since.
It's through the wickets, by the way.
Yeah, it's probably a good thing it went through the wickets.
Yes,
very good.
That hits a wicket. That you may be down a wicket right there. There is loud contact when he is swinging it.
Down a wicket, huh?
Yeah. Nobody wants to be down a wicket.
So, fellas, to your point about the inability to bring runners in and leaving runners stranded, this is the 3rd time that the leadoff man has been on.
And the Ducks need to cash one of these in.
Maloney pulls it foul. Junior infielder hitting .230 this year. Bottom of this order has Maloney and then Jack Brooks. There's some speed here and some decent bat-to-ball skills. Not there, though. Great pitch from Volantis, 1-2.
53% miss rate on that breaking ball. And what makes that so special is it is the pitch he throws the most and the pitch that the team spend the most time prepping on coming into the game. And we see relievers come in, you know, and they throw one inning and they have 53% miss rates on some. There's not a whole lot of starters. Mason Edwards, Jackson Flora. There's only a handful of guys in the country. Liam Peterson that throw pitches that get above 50% whiff rate
as a starter.
As a starter, especially on their primary offering.
Maloney, that is a fair ball. Pack's going over. And it will be second and third as Maloney delivers a double.
Well, it's not always the pitch. So often it is simply the location of the pitch, and it was that curveball that Volantis has had so much success with. But Berkey, this is the one you can do some damage on.
Yeah, 2-strike breaking ball, just kind of hanging. He doesn't catch it on the fat part of the bat, but gets it elevated because the pitch is elevated and sneaks it inside the left field line. A rare mistake from Dylan Volantis, and here the Ducks are with a great chance to cash in.
In at first base is Larson, the 9-hole hitter. Looks at ball, a strike one, right at the knees. 0 for 5 runners in scoring position tonight. They've had a runner in scoring position, guys, in all 4 innings.
I know too, they're not going to do it, but maybe, I mean, at some point, I know you're down 4, you're going to play for the big inning, but man, you gotta move the baseball. Yeah. I was thinking maybe this was a safety opportunity here where you take one and move the other guy to third and put 2 on the board and you cut the deficit in half. But I also can see Waz playing for the big number here as well.
Milwaukee leads off third. And the 1-2 to Brooks. Just missed off. Good take from Jack Brooks.
You could tell Volantis wanted that one too. He kind of stuck the finish as if he was used to getting that call.
Pitch like that, Brooks gets a bat on it, goes through the 5-6 hole. Rodriguez is almost behind second base. He lands that one though, and that is another big strikeout. With 2 on, nobody out, it's number 6.
Well, that's the knee buckler here. This one starts behind Brooks, and you literally can see the body flinch. Watch, this ball starts kind of the accidental front door breaking ball, and that is a definition of a knee buckling breaking ball right there. And boy, Volantis just keeps making pitches with his back against the wall.
For those 6 punch-outs with runners in scoring position, he has not been able to get Jax Jimenez out. 2 for 2 with 2 singles. This is the at-bat of the game so far in the 4th inning with a 4-0 lead.
And the guy they want up. This is the dude who has executed the pregame plan flawlessly to this point.
And this isn't just tonight. You can see he's reached in 35 straight games.
He's on that breaking ball.
Well, yeah, and they're going a different approach here, too. I mean, the single in the first was on a cutter. And then the single the second time up was on a fastball out away from him.
Milwaukee and Maloney, the base runners. Ducks looking for a big hit. And Jimenez takes and it bites the corner.
There's that sidearm action again. Yeah. It's a Max Wiener to call that in a 2-0 count with 2 runners on.
Pitching coach of the Longhorns, Max Wiener. 2-1, goes sidearm again. It comes too far inside.
Is it the worst thing in the world if you walk him here? You got Lai on deck who has not looked comfortable in this ball game at all. And you're setting up the double play. Now, I know you don't love free base runners when you're up 4, but off a guy that seems to be seeing the ball very well, I don't think it's the end of the world.
I don't think he's going to see a fastball.
No, nasty breaking ball, 3-2. Boy, I don't know. Every time he has needed a big pitch, he's been able to come up with it.
Well, he's gone back to that one.
Yeah.
I'd be shocked if he doesn't go back-to-back with a curveball.
Jimenez is gone. Volantis gets another, his 7th.
It's almost sometimes like the count doesn't matter. It's at some point, big spot, whatever the count is, we're going to the biggest pitch. And these are the last two. Breaking ball to get it back to 3-2, then breaking ball down and out of the zone. It was definitely ball 4. But still, with the stuff, it's not easy to hold up. Jimenez goes after it. Oregon had second and third, nobody out. Now they're still standing out there with 2 outs.
2 strikeouts for Laya. And it's 0-1. Maybe Max Weiner sends a message like, I'm not stressing here. You want to go sidearm? Let's do sidearm.
Why not? If Oregon can't cash in here, when you talk about a blow to their momentum.
On the ground to first, smothered over there by Larson. And he escapes again. And you don't see a lot of emotion out of Atlantis, but given the way things have gone so far tonight, you get plenty of it. 0 for 6 with runners in scoring position. And we will discuss that with the head coach of Oregon as we continue here. Mark Wazakowski after this.
Waz, you guys have had plenty of opportunities on offense. Well, what's the message in the dugout right now to try to keep you guys loose in these RBI spots?
Well, I mean, the guy's at 78 pitches, right? 3 of the 4 innings that we've had on offense, it's high stress for him. And so we're executing a lot of things to get the table set. And, you know, we've a couple of the young guys have had a tough night so far, but still a lot of game left. They've obviously gotten the table set well enough, and we just need to execute when we get those RBI at-bats. And a couple of young guys are, you know, struggled so far, like I said, but those guys are really good players, and I bet by the end of this thing they'll figure it out.
Well, Scolari on the mound, and I mean, last inning, his quickest inning, but the walks have kind of got him. They've come back around. What have you seen from your end?
Yeah, that and the head turns at second base. I mean, you know, uncharacteristic. I think he got sped up to where they were exposing him a little bit with the running game. I think we'll put an end to that pretty quickly. But, you know, I mean, just the first inning, the 2 walks scored, right? I mean, getting behind in the count. You know, last inning was able to get back on top and get ahead in the count and threw some really good breaking balls to Pac-Man to get him out. And I thought he pitched much more in character last inning. So hopefully he can get into a little bit of a rhythm and hold us right there to get us a chance. Once again, I think we're doing a nice job off their starter, but we just haven't been able to deliver the blow yet.
Boss, thanks very much. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for your coverage. Go Ducks.
Thank you. They feed off of him. I mean, there's no question that this team is sort of a reflection of his personality, let alone his workout routine.
Yeah, well, I mean, you talk about a team that takes on the character of their head coach. It's high energy and it's very physical. They love the weight room, and they're loose. I mean, we are at batting practice, and they are dogging each other. They are talking smack. They're competing. It's just a group that feels very comfortable in the moment. Now, they haven't gotten that big hit yet, but boy, have they given Dylan Valanis a hard time.
Mendoza on the ground is short. Smith, 1 out. Well, we mentioned the 1992 Pepperdine Waves National Championship team in the men's call. Whoa.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, Waz.
There's a little different set of rules back then. You could put your head down.
That's not a pig pile. That's not a dog pile.
No.
That's a runner and a catcher.
He ended up going like almost straight into a handstand after that at home plate and then flipped all the way over. How about this? When Mark Wazakowski got to campus 6 years ago, the most amount of home runs Oregon had hit in a single season was 48. 48. 3 of the last 4 years, they've hit over 100. It's just changed approach. Listen, they can still small ball you too. It's not, they can still bring the West Coast style back in, but they looked apart getting off the bus.
Good breaking pitch in there for a strike to Larson.
He promised the fan base a physical style of ball. And he certainly has delivered that. And a bunch of wins to go along with it. 3 out of the last 4 years, they've been in the supers. Just trying to knock down that door and get back to Omaha.
Foul out of play by Larson. They set a record last year. They could conceivably set another record this season. So they'd have to go off a little bit. But there are those 3 straight, what do you call it, hungy?
Hunch.
A little hunch?
Yeah. I mean, 48 was the most. 56 still makes the list.
Yeah. that was the leader for a year.
Peeling back goes Smith, and he is attempting to make a great catch, but he just ran out of room.
And similar to Texas, they have had a bring their fence in redo at PK Park. So a lot of the programs that notoriously had the biggest, most pitcher-friendly yards have understood that if we want to recruit hitters, we may want to bring the gaps in a little bit. And certainly Dish Falk has done the same.
1-2 to Larson. That's in the dirt. They came with a couple of goals. Obviously, the main one is to win this thing and get to Omaha, but trying to block out the noise, and they do feel like, having played a late season series at UCLA, defeated Nebraska in the Big Ten conference tournament, and there were, what, 12,000 in that environment, that they'd be able to handle a situation like this.
Yeah, they raved about that environment against Nebraska at Charles Schwab, and certainly have played big-time teams in the back half of their schedule.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they lost 2 out of 3 to UCLA, but had the lead late, trying to win game 3. Up until regionals, that would have been the only series loss of the year for UCLA.
Didn't everybody have the lead late against UCLA?
The last month, it seemed like it.
UCLA and Georgia Tech beaten. Those were the two teams favored to get to Omaha more than any other. And they're not going. 3-2, ball 4. One-out walk for Ashton Larson.
3 of the top 4 seeds are home.
Yeah, I know.
It has been a wacky tournament. Ole Miss knocking out the Auburn Tigers this afternoon, and we're getting a little chippy now. We've got kind of a stare down here. I saw Scolari kind of give it a little bit to Rodriguez after the strikeout that ended the last half inning.
Borba blasted off to right field for his 18th home run of the year, and he steps up now. How do you think that West Virginia vibe is going to be in Omaha?
Oh, fun?
A lot of fun.
They will show up. Yeah, that may be one of those, if you're the last one to leave Morgantown on Thursday when you come to Omaha, just turn the lights out, because there might be a whole lot of them heading that way.
You're going to convince Mr. McAfee to show up in Omaha?
I got a feeling he may just be there.
I don't think he'll need to be convinced.
Two balls and no strikes to Borba. His home run on the second traveled 394 feet.
That's a good pitch right there. Slider and a swing count. Borba lets it rip. You know he was going to be hunting a large one right there. And Scolari does a nice job missing the barrel.
Super Regional, you win 2, you move on to Omaha. 38 times the Longhorns have been there. (1954) for the Ducks of Oregon. Dangerous count to a good power hitter. 3-1. Right back up the middle. Cut off there. Great diving play. Cooney. And he just threw it a little wide. And Jackson was unable to hang on to it. But what an effort by Ryan Cooney at second.
Boy, this could have easily been 2. And Cooney, that is full extension up the middle to make this play. A little off the end. Cooney goes all out. A step and a throw. And Jackson, as long as he is, just can't quite finish the catch and keep the base. But that is a heck of a play by the Oregon second baseman. Almost gets him off the field.
May have extended the outing for Scolari as he is up to 83 pitches in a 4-0 hole in the bottom of the 4th. for Pendergrass. He walked and then he became an agitator, stealing 2 bases and coming to score in the second.
Well, you see, he's checking with Schloss on every pitch. Schloss is heavily involved in Mr. Pendergrass's ABs.
That was the take sign.
Yes.
We're going to make sure you're taking one in this one.
2-1, and there's that look, and there's Schloss giving these signals to Pendergrass. So if you're just joining us, he joined this team in the winter, kind of hanging around that portal. Ended up moving into center field late in the season for these Longhorns. And now he's got himself in a 3-1 count.
Hasn't swung yet. We've seen a couple fake bunt attempts. I think he just said you're taking.
Yeah.
I think he just said it.
I'm going to give a few signs and yell take.
Scolari for the 10th time has gone to a 3-ball count, 18 hitters.
Oh, okay.
No.
The old deke.
He said rake.
Okay, you're raking.
Yes.
I like that.
Fake take.
Yes.
Brooks is shaded towards left in center field. There's a ton of room in right center. 3-2, Borber's off. That is high, ball 4. And the walks, 3 of them have come in to score. 3 of the 4 walks issued by Scolari have ended up touching home.
Well, that's just got to be maddening for the Oregon dugout, because you know Pendergrass, and he swung 1 time in 2 at-bats, and you get arguably the hottest hitter on the planet walking up to bat. That's just not the formula to beat these guys.
The new pitching coach came over from San Diego. Along with him came the guy that we're going to see tomorrow night, Will Sanford. Check that, Scolari came with him. So there's a relationship that goes back last year. And he said, there's a reason I came here, and it's because of that guy who you see right there in the middle of your screen.
And they're clearly sticking with him here.
Yeah. Yeah, they had a left-hander up, and I don't know if you want to bring a left-hander in to face Robbins right here.
Toby Twist was 4-0 with a 3.8, had been warming up earlier. Robbins walked, scored, sacrifice fly in the second to bring in a run. And that was the Pendergrass run after he stole a couple of bags. Robbins claims the more he sees pitches, the better off the result will be when he's in the box. The numbers will back it up. Another big opportunity for a guy that's got 63 runs batted in.
Work by Mabius there. Throw that body out there, block it up.
These are the kind of moments that Robbins has delivered on all season long. As we take another look at Mabius, a lot of people wonder, can you get around breaking balls off the 1 knee down? Boy, he sure did right there.
Good patience.
He looks like he's seeing that breaking ball, and there's a little wry smile like, I got you now with a 2-0 count.
Those are the ones that you see on the mound and they don't make you feel too terribly comfortable. I want to see you off balance on a take, not comfortable.
Borba, Pendergrass, the base runners. 2-0 count to Aiden Robbins, the leadoff hitter. Checked his swing, they'll check first. They give him a swing, and it's a strike.
Maybe just started a little earlier than normal there. The barrel snaps past the point of no return, and yep. All off speed so far.
Seton Hall self-deprecating Robbins. Looks at one way outside. No choice but to take, and now it's 3-1.
That's the best pitch of the at-bat right there. Just a tight cutter. Does Scolari have a big pitch in him like we've seen from Dylan Volantis all throughout this game?
Reynolds will be moving. Pendergrass can fly at first base. Robbins looking for that clutch hit. He fouls another one off. .368 batting average with 2 outs. And he takes to load him. Oh boy. Carson Tinney stepping to the plate. You let Scolari face him.
This feels like the ball game right here. You got Tinney coming out, bases loaded, 2 outs. If Oregon can figure out a way to get out of this, and I don't think it'll be Scolari to do it, you still got a chance. Tinney hits a ball in the gap, and that's a long way to come back. Ducks will go to the bullpen, though.
Come right back. Bases are loaded. It's 4-zip. We're in the bottom of the 4th, and a pitching change in Austin. Long night for Cal Scolari, and now he's going to have to watch with the bases loaded. And one of the best hitters in the country coming up in Carson Tinney, who is 4 for 10 with the bases loaded. He's got a couple of grand slams. They came back in May, and Oregon decides to go with Jonah Barkov, the left-handed pitcher.
Yeah, he hadn't been out there a whole lot. In fact, the first appearance that Barkov made this year was at the end of April. On for just the 6th time in the previous 5 outings. He's gone 5 1/3. He has struck 9 out, but he's walked 5 in that same time frame. Splits against righties, even though it's short sample set, are definitely better than those against lefties, and the changeup has been the go-to swing and miss pitch.
Crowd will get into it here at Dish Falk with them loaded. And a chance to really change this game. It's 4-0 Texas. They put up 2 in the first, 2 more in the second. Barkov's first is a fastball in the outside corner.
Right to it here.
Changeup?
Yeah.
Did your best, man. 1-0 count. I think you better start running with it.
Oh my goodness. He stumbled, and that is going to bring a run in. Are you kidding? That's a hard luck for the youngster Barkov on the mound here in this environment for a freshman with limited innings.
Goodness.
That's a good changeup right there at 81. It's 0-2.
Get ahead with the fastball, go right to the changeup.
I'll talk about the composure of the kid. He just balked in a run, and he lands a changeup against one of the better hitters in America.
Too predictable to go back to it here?
Not for me.
Love that pitch. Love the guts of that pitch, and I love that he stuck it in there.
That's one of those, too. If that catches plate, you got Tinney every time on this.
100%.
And it didn't miss by much. But now if you want to go back to the changeup, may give you a little bit more room out there.
21 long balls on the year. And that one is sent with length on it, but foul on the right field line. It doesn't take much for Tinney to get one over the wall. He built a lot like your Georgia catcher. He's built a little bit like Lackey. He's just thick.
He looks like an old school catcher.
Yeah. Barkov has shown some good stuff here against Tinney.
And those Texas hitters continue to take long looks back to the mound. Tinney took a long one after that. I think you throw back-to-back changeups here. Don't you have to bounce one here, KP?
Senior in high school last year on the mound here on a 2-2. They will throw, and that will end it. Good job right there by Jonah Barkov against Carson Tinney, with the exception of the balk to make it 5-0. He gets the guy that he was charged to get.
Yeah, you got a freshman coming in that's thrown just 5 1/3 innings in his collegiate career, and kind of blows a tire on the way home, that one. But comes back and gets one of the better hitters in the country. Keeps it close, but the Horns get one more and lead it 5-0.
Matt, thank you very much. We're right back here, right back to the action. As Dylan Volantis' first pitch to Cooney misses.
I'm as guilty of it as anybody. Has there ever been an SEC team that's in the top 8 that is less talked about than Bama?
No, but that's because of the really fast start and then kind of a fizzle out a little bit.
No, there's a lot of reasons for it. And some are justified, but it is.
I think it's accurate.
It is wild that they're the number 7 national seed. Granted, the last game took some heroics in the extra innings, but they swept their regional. And they are just kind of riding along here with a chance to host a Super. Rob Vaughn just continues to impress, how it seems like he always gets the most out of his roster.
It also seems like every year that he's been there, they've gotten better and better and better.
1-2 to Cooney. Right back up the middle, and that is a well-placed Becerra. And he throws him out. There's one down as Cooney, the hometown kid, born a Duck. His whole family went to Oregon, is out on a throw by Becerra. Regional headlines from the Supers. First 3 tickets are already punched. West Virginia and Troy have never been there. Ole Miss goes back. Mike Bianco for the first time since 2022. Georgia was trailing 7-0 in the 4th inning. O'Shaughnessy had 2 homers. He was playing for Trey Phelps, who of course was serving the 1-game suspension. It's a go-ahead 3-run home run in the 8th. It's not a Wally Pipp story, but it's an amazing story.
Tell you, the Rebs have a little 2022 vibes to them. They had a much better regular season. They didn't have to sneak in late like that team did, but they hit the ball in the ballpark like that team did. They are veteran-led, Utermark and Furness and Becerra, and they have some arms that people do not want to see.
No, you do not. And they got one that's been there, done that, too, and I think that helps in Hunter Elliott.
Pitched in 22 in Omaha.
Let that sink in.
Just reminds me of how close Arizona State was. Now you see the team that you played 14 innings until
in the opener,
1:15 in the morning, and lost. How close you came, and now that team is going to go play in Omaha.
And Ole Miss now 3 times to Omaha under Mike Bianco, all on the road, which is really interesting. They've done it 3 times. All 3 super regionals have been on the road.
For a school that has such a wonderful home field.
Yeah, and has hosted a ton.
Called strike 3. And Volantis feeling it right now, and you can tell the way he's strutting around out there with 2 down here in the 5th.
Here's the thing with Volantis. If you give him enough time to find it, he will find it. History says that it's going to come back, and it was a little shaky through the first 4 innings, but Oregon just couldn't deliver the knockout punch to get anybody across. Now this inning, 2 quick outs. I think that's his first strikeout on the fastball right there, too, right at the knees.
8 of them in the game. No, you got the sense, listening to Coach Wasikowski during that interview, let's get into the pen, because we're doing everything we can, and this guy just keeps coming up with the big pitches, but we got his pitch count up. And if we can have the same approach against the bullpen where the guy doesn't maybe have the skill that Volantis does, then we got a chance.
It feels like one of those days when you're facing Volantis, and I know he isn't quite as sharp as we're used to seeing him, is at some point you're saying, just show us anybody but him.
Right.
I don't care who it is. And the bullpen's good.
Jackson lines one into right field. That's going to get down. And a little thought about maybe throwing to first base, but Larson was too far off the bag. That thing was hit really hard.
Well, that's the kind of night the Ducks are having. Jackson has left 5 runners on base in his first 2 at-bats, and he comes up with 2 outs and nobody on and delivers a rocket into right field. But, you never want to say a base hit is totally empty, but that one is, I'm sure Mark Wasikowski has a little bit of a sarcastic smile as he sees his freshman first baseman rifle one into right field.
104 miles an hour off the bat. Lee Mabius, this one seeing eye into the shortstop hole, no play. And another opportunity with 2 men on and 2 down as Berkeley Mabius delivers his first hit of the night.
KP, just when it looked like he was going to finally have a 1-2-3 inning, the Ducks put a couple on. This is a backside topper that just perfectly positioned. Rodriguez has no play. He kind of wisely puts it in his pocket. More high-stress pitches for Volantis.
Now you got one that can do some damage.
Oh for 8, runners in scoring position. Oh, and that was a swing for the fences. Told you a little bit about Nalivo Milwaukee and how quickly he has come on in a small sample size of 27 games, nearly a home run every other game. That one gets away from Tinney, up with it, fires high to third, but it's a letter-high fastball to Borba. They've been very aggressive on the bases.
Well, you have to when you're playing Volantis. You know he's going to bury some breaking balls. That has to be a part of your plan of attack offensively, is to be aggressive on dirt balls. When he hammers that breaking ball on the ground, it's rarely going to fall right in front of the catcher. And now Milwaukee, who hit both of Oregon's home runs last weekend, boy, would they love to see him run into one here.
2 for 11. His 2 hits left the yard. 1-1. Did he go? No swing. You have to be so strong not to swing when you commit like Milwaukee just did.
What do you think, KP? Does he hold it? I think so. Yeah.
He thinks that one won't even close.
He is gone. Volantis has come off the mound several times, fired up with his 9 strikeouts and the 0 that he has hung up through 5. Texas got a 5-0 lead. Dylan Volantis, I don't know, you ask him what would you grade yourself tonight, what would he say?
C.
C.
What do you think? Well,
I would
until you get
say
the biggest moments.
You do have a 0 through 5.
Yep.
So
Yes.
you can't.
C+. How about that?
Yeah, stuff-wise, maybe he would not be real friendly on himself, but man, the results have been impressive.
Oregon has left 10 on base tonight.
In 5 innings. This is, we talked about it coming in, and it was really Scolari that was the culprit of most of these, but over 5 pitches in a bat Texas has seen tonight. For context, over the course of the season, they averaged 4.1 pitches in a bat. That's second in the country. Anything over 5 is unheard of over the course of the year.
I'm trying to get some length out of the freshman, Jonah Barkov, who has shown some very good stuff tonight. 1-1 and just missed.
That one left changeup right there was awfully nice.
That lands right at the bottom of the zone. Another one.
This kid's been impressive. A freshman who hasn't been out there a ton and just.
Especially after what happened right away.
Yeah.
I mean, you go out there and block a run in, and you're still facing the heart of this Texas order.
Got one in the fist of Pack. He was the #1 left-handed pitcher and #6 overall player in Oregon. Lake Oswego High School. He started 4 times. He started 4 games as a senior, 17 innings, and then he got hurt. So he's one of those guys that suffered a season-ending injury and stayed at home.
You talk about how impressive Anthony Pack Jr. is. Add to the list that he hits .394 off left-handers. He just doesn't do freshman things.
No.
On the ground, fielded by Cooney. Pack can fly, but he is thrown out. Boys, we got a game coming up Thursday, Major League Baseball style. 7 Eastern time, Seattle playing a lot better lately against the Orioles. You can catch it on ESPN and stream it live on the ESPN app. Slow start for Seattle, but all of a sudden they have kind of found their stride. You knew they could pitch, and Julio's having a year again.
How's the dumper doing?
Slowly compared to last year, but you kind of knew that.
But is he, I know he had 0 for 32 or something in the middle of that.
I don't know. The bar just was raised so high last year. That's why so many people, I think, felt, you know what, the MVP thing, like, he ain't going to do that again. He's a catcher. He's putting up historically good numbers. But it's the M's and the O's Thursday night, 7 Eastern time. Becerra, this one looks like it's headed to the gap, and it is. It gets down. He's going to take 2. Temo Becerra delivers. He's feeling pretty good. Remember, he got hit by a pitch, then he got nailed, kind of leaning off first.
Now we're back into good graces.
Yes, exactly.
Now it's more fun to go back to the bat rack when he gets back in there. A 91-mile-an-hour fastball, that a little cut on it too, coming back in on the hands of Becerra, but gets enough of it out to that right center field gap. 1-out double as another base runner in scoring position for the Horns.
Now here comes Adrian Rodriguez, who compared playing for Texas baseball to, as we just talked about, Major League Baseball, like the New York Yankees. You buying Adrian Rodriguez's analogy?
Well,
Texas baseball?
It's certainly one of the premier programs in the sport. There's no doubt about that. It's a place with ultra high expectations, so there's certainly some similarities.
Especially if you grew up in the state. I mean, you grew up around it like he did, and then you come in and you're not just playing for Texas, you're a starting shortstop for Texas, sitting right in the middle of the lineup.
Double and 2 RBIs that he got in the first inning. He's been dealing with kind of a bizarre hand injury, which he had surgery on, and they discovered what they inserted into his hand to help alleviate the pain he was actually allergic to, so they took it out.
They put a pin in.
And that injury, it will hurt him when he swings and misses on breaking pitches, not when he makes contact. And he's going to have it re-examined after the season to see what should be done. This little golf shot into center. It's going to get down. That's going to be an RBI. He heads to second, puts the brakes on, brings in another run. And a really good night for Adrian Rodriguez, who's got 3 RBI, 6-0 Longhorns.
I tell you what, you talk about 2 totally different offenses. One team that just continues to cash in every opportunity. And of course, we talked about Oregon, just their inability. But I thought Rodriguez came out of the gates here so perfectly, guys. And then for whatever reason, he puts on the brakes. But a nice job there by Jack Brooks cutting it off. But then he throws it into no man's land. And Rodriguez is hunting a double here. Watch him. He puts the gas pedal down and then for whatever reason puts on the brakes on a ball that was not thrown to second base. But nevertheless, another big RBI knock. And Texas is just, their execution has been tremendous.
2 hits with runners in scoring position absolutely will be, if it continues, the story of the game. The Longhorns' ability to bring the runners in and the Ducks' inability to do it. Really good night and a good sign for Rodriguez with 2 hits and 3 runs batted in.
Well, the story of this team all season long is the offense good enough in the back half of the lineup on a night where the top half doesn't carry you to win the ball game. And you look at what they've done tonight. Rodriguez now has 3 RBIs. Becerra gets the double and the run scored. And then Borba's hit a homer. Pendergrass has scored. Borba scored twice. Like, this is a back half of the lineup that has really got the job done here early in this series.
Leo Ullman is warming in the Oregon bullpen. The tall righty, 6'4", 219. Faith Lutheran High School. I know this is an interesting story. He grew up, I mentioned, in Bedford, Texas, and he always wanted to play for Texas. Well, when Schlossnagle was at A&M, they reached out to him, and he immediately said, absolutely not. Not going to go there. No interest, desire to play for the Aggies. I want to be a Longhorn. So he committed to Arizona State. Had a great freshman year there, hit .315. But he was still dreaming of wearing a burnt orange. And when Schlossnagle moved to Texas, he finally got the call. He said he and his family went crazy. And he got drilled by a pitch. The ultimate dream for a kid from Bedford, Texas is not only to play for Texas, but to get to Omaha and win it all for Texas. Then the family would really go crazy.
And since 2005, that Texas has won a national championship.
Which doesn't feel...
20 years.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like that's possible. Now, the expectations, as we mentioned, the 71 championships that Texas has won. It was interesting talking with Coach Schlossnagle the other day, in his office, about the fact that the women's softball team won a championship and the awareness in this community for what we haven't done and the pressure that comes with it. And look, he took the job knowing that.
Yeah, that's right.
I still remember the Augie Garrido quote where he said we'd take the runner-up trophy and use it as a doorstop. And that was the way that Augie looked at it at that point. They got 2 of them in a row. They packed that ballpark across the street last night, too, after the practices.
Left on left for Larson. Sub 200 against Southpaws is Larson. Looks good there, though, taking it 2-0.
This will be Barkov's last hitter, and it does look like he's running out of gas a little bit, but boy, do they need him to get the job done right here against the left-handed hitting Larson.
It felt like one of those nights for Oregon, especially against Valanis, that you're going to have to be pretty close to perfect. Leave 10 guys on in the first 5 innings. The 3 walks have come around to score. It just
hasn't been perfect.
No, it is not.
The 3-0 is in there for a strike, 3-1. And now Larson will be sitting and waiting for one down the middle. He's got 2 runners out there, Rodriguez and Mendoza. It's 6-0. Volantis waits. Will it be 6-zip when he goes back out there? Ball 4 to load him up. And the call has been made to the bullpen. Barkov will not face another hitter. Ullman is coming in, redshirt junior, with the bases loaded, and the game at 6-zip already is very much in the balance. One of the great walks the ESPN crew and thousands of others make that. As we take a look at our brackets, we are in the Super Regionals, and some of those are over. West Virginia and Troy on to the Men's College World Series. Ole Miss going as well. Meantime, on the other side, the right side of the bracket, Kansas and Oklahoma, the Sooners up big. Alabama and St. John's underway. And Georgia and Mississippi State throwing haymakers today. They'll do it again tomorrow at noon Eastern time on ESPN. Leo Ullman, the right-hander, will have to deal with Casey Borba, who already tonight has got a home run. He has scored twice. He steps into a situation where the bases are loaded. Reminder, in the postseason, the 10-run rule does not apply. Crowd anticipating something big, and they get a big high fly in a shallow left field. And Maloney's out there to make the play on one pitch. Borba flies out.
Big first pitch slider right there that Borba just missed, but a giant first pitch out for Ullman coming in the ballgame. Bases loaded, one out. You get a dangerous hitter to pop up, and the runners can't advance.
So what was your feeling about new pitcher coming in? If he's facing you, do you take a pitch? Are you anxious to jump on one? Do you think he's throwing a fastball?
If it was somebody I hadn't seen, I would always take. Now, you know, there are some hitters that just don't love hitting deep into counts, that if it's a strike, they're swinging, but
that one gets away from the catcher, and in fact, it hit him. Another run comes in. 2 runs have scored for Texas, one on a balk and now one on a hit batter with the bases loaded. Pendergrass will go to first.
And Oregon just continues to give free passes to the bottom half of this order.
Well, that's 10 total. 7 walks, and they've hit 3 guys.
Seventh run of the night. And they want more, and Aiden Robbins steps in. And this can get loud. He takes a little slider there at 81. So the home run totals for Aiden Robbins. 23 between he and Tinney on deck. 44 total homers. Oh, what a job behind the plate by Berkeley Mabius. I'm not sure how he kept that in his glove.
I just threw his glove out there.
Two for 7 this year with the bases loaded, Robbins. He went way outside the zone to chase that. They're fence hanging right now with the situation as it is. Enjoying the night, 7-zip home team. And Robbins, that was held on to, he's gone. Frustration for Aiden Robbins, elation for the rest of the Longhorns. They lead it 7-0 through 5. Of course, home of the College World Series, the regionals, super regionals all across the country. Crews enjoying the action and atmospheres that have really set the college campuses abuzz, and they have been outstanding. Here, a little bit quieter, even though the home team's winning 7-0. Part of that has to do with Oregon's inability to create any action. They've had so many runners on and stranded 10 against Dylan Volantis, who moves into the 6th inning, where he will crest 100 pitches. What do you guys make of that? That's a Chris Sale move. I mean, this is clearly the Mad Max laboratory.
I haven't seen it all year.
Right.
And now we've probably seen it 4 times tonight.
Well, they did mention to us that they like to do things just to get them on the report, right? Just to put another thing into a hitter's head.
I may want to do stuff to get it on a report in like March. Not necessarily in game 1 of the Super, but it's working.
They're one of them in a 2-0 count with runners on second and third.
Yes.
That's going to be a shot down the line. Heading over there, Robbins, he's not going to be able to cut it off, and now it gets lost in the corner. And boy, I don't think Maloney really noticed that he was chasing it. He's into second with the leadoff double. And again, a base runner in scoring position for Oregon.
Well, I thought they missed a chance at a stand-up triple.
Oh,
here.
yeah.
I don't know why they played that so safely.
Well, he put his head down.
He didn't look.
He put his head down. He didn't look to third because Brett Thomas was saying yes, yes, yes. And when he goes into second base, watch where he's at.
Aiden Robbins really crowds this ball. First thing when you play corner outfield, you have got to give the ball space when it gets rattling around in the corner. And because he misplayed that, that could have been an easy triple for Maloney. You're saying Maloney didn't pick up Thomas?
No. When he was going into second base, he put his head down. And Thomas was as deep as he could trying to get his attention. He just never saw him.
Fourth leadoff hit in 6 innings against Volantis. This is absolutely the story of this game. 0 for 9. In the regionals, they hit .419. They won 14-2, 4-zip, 4-1.
They were past 100 pitches for Volantis, who really, I mean, he's had to labor in every inning to some extent. There's still nobody really throwing.
Yeah.
They're moving around a little bit, but yeah, we're flipping it behind their back. We're doing the worm. I mean, we're doing everything but warming up right now.
It is the 9-hole hitter, Brooks. Urgency wouldn't be the word that you would attach to that picture.
Does not appear that way.
It has not been easy for Dylan Volantis tonight. But he still hung a 0 so far. The 2-2. Just missed. He hasn't given up a run. He's got his next strikeout's his 10th. I mean, it sounds like a good night. But if you've watched along with us, you realize this has been very labor intensive. And another walk for him to put it at first and second.
Now you feel like if you're Oregon, you got to get something this inning. You get the top of your order coming up. You got 2 on. I think I've maybe said that 3 or 4 times so far in the game already.
Keep saying it. Yeah. It's been true
At
every time.
some point, and I understand Mark Wasikowski said before we're pushing his pitch count up. And they've done that, but they're going to have to get a few across.
Thomas Burns down there getting loose, 45 there on your left. Big, hard throwing right-hander. He typically is their bridge guy right around this time of the ball game to get the ball to Sam Cozart.
Max Wiener out there. Max Wiener is a story unto himself. He, of course, is the pitching coach here. He's got some Major League Baseball experience. He was with the Guardians, the Seattle Mariners for a while, A&M, and now here, of course, with the Longhorns. Sought after at a variety of different levels. His attitude, much like the pitching coach for Oregon, focuses on positivity. I mean, for sure, you're feeding positivity into the pitchers. And he just fed it to Volantis. With nobody out, first and second. And he just hit a batter. Wow, after the meeting, Jax Jimenez to load the bases. It almost feels impossible that Oregon has no runs.
I mean, in every inning except the second, they've had multiple base runners on.
You know, it is a little curious with how much he labored to get through 5 that they ran him out there for the 6th without somebody just ready to I mean, if he throws another pitch, it'll be a season high in pitches.
Yeah, be a career high in pitches, yeah. And he gets a swing and a miss.
Just interesting with all the arms they have down there that somebody wasn't up and ready to go.
Angel Laya hits 2 in the order, 47 RBI, and it's 0-2.
You can certainly see why they left him in. Laya just has not seen the breaking ball at all this evening.
2 strikeouts and a ground ball to first. Career high in pitches for Volantis. The next one. Got him way out of the zone with a strikeout. It'll be the 3rd of Laya. And Volantis is 10th.
I feel like somebody's got to today go out there and tell Volantis the bases are loaded to start the inning.
Jim Schlossnagel's going out there to take the baseball from him. Well, the ace of the staff did not have his ace stuff, and yet he leads with a 7-0 lead, 10 strikeouts, and no runs allowed. Back with Chris Burke, Kyle Peterson, Carl Ravitch. Time now for the Capital One rewarding performance, fellas.
I'd say 10 strikeouts going to get you that. You earn the role of ace when you don't only keep your team in it when you don't have your A stuff, which he didn't tonight until it was the biggest moments, but yet you leave and there's a 0 in the run column. And for Volantis, man, I mean, he had to work. 110 pitches, never done that before, but he punched out 10, did walk 4. 10th and final strikeout was Angel Laya for the first out in the 6th inning. So they go to the big right-hander who can run it up to. This is a mid-90s fastball from Thomas Burns. His fastball, cutter, changeup, but pretty fastball heavy for a guy that really is not just coming in to get 2 outs. He can come in to get 2 or 3 innings at this point, which I think is what Texas is looking for.
Batting average against him this season for Burns is 190. And a great opportunity here for Ryan Cooney. Ball number 1. To your point, Brookie, you don't look out there and see Volantis anymore. And for a team that has struggled as much as he tried
to help,
they didn't get anything. And now you hope that this change will allow them to get something going. The 1-0 to Cooney. 1 ball, 1 strike. Both of Cooney's parents attended the university. His mom ran track there. Dad was an athlete as well. Brother went there as well. Big time offensive threat. Cleanup hitter with him loaded. And Burns ready on a 1-1. Swung on and it goes out of play. Straight over the top, 97-mile-an-hour octane.
And it's got some carry to it coming into the ball game. Division I average for fastball swing and miss 18%. His is almost 40. So he can run that thing to the top of the zone and create some big misses, especially in high leverage spots like this.
Called strike 3, 89 after a 97.
It looks like the split right there. He threw the first pitch of the bat, came back with 2 fastballs, 98, 97. Now, see that release point that just stays on the outside part of the plate. A good job by Carson Tenney to frame it up.
Just perfectly executed on the edge.
Drew Smith, good fastball hitter. Chased up top. 313 on pitches, 93 plus, 0 for 11 with runners in scoring position. 2 grand slams on the season for Drew Smith. That is too high.
Burns is interesting because the profile screams closer. It's power stuff, swing and miss fastball, swing and miss split. But they like him in this bridge role. It's very interesting. I almost feel like he performs better here in the middle of the ball game. Of course, they have Sam Cozart at the end that's been so reliable closing them out. But what a weapon to have here in the middle innings.
Arizona State transfer ready on the 1-1 to Drew Smith. Maloney is at third, Brooks is at second. Jimenez off first, swing and a miss, 97 to go 2-2. Crowd to its feet. Oh boy, he came too far inside. He got lucky he didn't drill Smith, it's full. Volantis leading the cheers and the chants. He'll be moving. That may have hurt, man, the umpire. That was right off of the mask. Make sure Wilson Rayner is okay. They didn't lose a lot of miles per hour off that bat. And they came in hot. Three balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, top of the 6th. Desperate for a hit, the Ducks. And Burns buried it at his feet. That's the first run. It comes on a bases-loaded walk. And the Ducks are on the board.
Well, there it is. Not a work of art, but they're on the board. Still in striking distance if they could just get somebody to come up with that clutch swing.
Well, let's not forget, Jackson, the freshman, did not look good his first 2 plate appearances with 2 strikeouts. Then a hard single his last time up. And all of a sudden, Burns is getting a little wild here with the walk with the bases loaded and falls behind.
He can do that too. I mean, this year for Burns coming in, 14 walks in 21 innings. So it's not been pinpoint. Now the bullpen is going to get moving again.
Landsman.
That's Luke Harrison up and throwing. Now, it was interesting. Texas announced starter today and then TBA tomorrow when the notes came out. We thought it may be Luke Harrison, maybe Ruger Riojas. Well, Harrison now warming. He's not just playing catch.
1-1 of the freshman having a great year. Braden Jackson. No, that's a little high and outside, 2-1. Again, over the last month, it's been the kids, the freshmen, who have been the most productive hitters for Oregon. And Jackson is in that group. Way outside, and it's 3 balls and a strike. And a little antsy, certainly antsier than they were about 15 minutes ago.
Home crowd not loving the vibe right now by Mr. Burns, who just, boy, I know, KP, it's always max effort, but the mechanics look a little bit all over the place right now.
Well, the misses are not small either.
And neither is that. And that is a back-to-back walk to bring in the second run. And Jim Schlossnagel's patience with what he has seen from Burns has got to be at 0.
Yeah, Schloss isn't gonna mess around here. He's gonna go to the left-hander. It certainly feels that way.
11 balls on 16 pitches. Are we gonna let him? No, he's not.
Yeah.
The signal's been made. All right, fellas, this is with 2 outs. They've got a couple of runs thanks to some wild pitching from Thomas Burns. And it is a starter coming out of the pen. It's going to be Luke Harrison to try to keep this thing 7-2. KP, you mentioned it. You wonder, like, I'll ask you guys, the decision to go here to Harrison, does it have anything to do with what Oregon has not been able to do tonight? I mean, I haven't seen Oregon. Are you reading anything from their inability to say, you know what, we're going to go with Riojas, or is that completely superfluous to this decision?
No, I think this was, we weren't aware of it, but this was in the plans before the game. I mean, Harrison's down there knowing there's pretty high, well, not high probability, but there's a chance he's going to throw. For Harrison over the last 2 years, it's 32 appearances, but 30 of those 32 have been start. It was a planned relief appearance in the SEC tournament. And then he came in and got a save, his only save of the year against UC Santa Barbara in the regional. So still not something he's done a whole lot of for the last 2 years, coming in the big spot.
Left on left, Berkeley Mabius. Looks at one high, ball 1. Mabius, good hitter against lefties. We saw him get a hit against Volantis. And overall, he hits over 300 against him. 1 ball, 1 strike.
I think also if you're Schloss, you're putting a guy in the game you feel pretty good could
Finish.
take you the distance here.
Yeah. 7-2, bases loaded, 2 runs in. Swing and a miss, off speed. And Harrison now is ahead 1-2.
Fastball, cutter, curveball, slider for Harrison. So 3 different breaking balls. All of them are going to move away from a left-hander here. That fastball into the low 90s.
Oregon's left 11 men on base tonight. 2-2. Oh boy, Tinney thought he had strike 3. Schlossnagle came charging out of the Texas dugout.
It looks like Wilson Rayner starts to call it, boys. Does he not back up and start to call it?
Nope.
No, he didn't. He stays his ground. I thought from up high that he started to flinch a little bit, but
Harrison's 3-2. He got him. The Ducks on the pond. They have left 14 men on base tonight. 14 through 6 stranded on the bases.
It's a big spot right there. I mean, a pitch after you think you're off the field. Harrison comes back and pumps a little cutter in there to get the swing and miss and get the horns off the field. The Ducks leave them loaded again, but get 2 on the board.
Now, this has hardly been one of those walks in the park, but an astounding number of Oregon Ducks have been left on the bases tonight. And a very big performance by Harrison after he had thought, along with that guy, that they had strike 3, only to be told no. It went to a 3-2 count, and then a swing and a miss. Sent the Ducks back to the dugout, and a new pitcher into the game. It's Colin Clark, the junior out of Irvine, California. 6'3", 205. This will be his 19th appearance this season.
Yeah, but just his 5th out of the bullpen. For the most part, he's been a starter this year, more of a control guy. Fastball's in the upper 80s, maybe right around 90. Curveball, a slider, and a very good changeup.
14 men on base. You have a 7-2 score right now?
That math doesn't really math, though.
As it says up there in the upper left, we've had a couple of teams already punch their ticket to Omaha. College World Series for the winners of these super regionals. And the games have been fantastic. Georgia and Mississippi State game of the day today. West Virginia was never in doubt. They put 17 runs up. And they march on to Omaha. And they'll bring thousands and thousands of fans with them. Tinney underneath one and on a play. Fellas, we've talked about the crowds and the atmospheres, and you know, out in left field now you got some more people than you usually have. This is the largest crowd ever at this ballpark for an NCAA sanctioned game.
I know.
8,550 people here with big ideas for things to do in the outfield in the future. 1-1. That's in there, 1 and 2.
They've had some big ball games in this ballpark.
A couple of them. they've had a couple of them, yeah.
So to have a record attendance is pretty cool. It's really cool to see it all across the country throughout the course of the last 2 weeks. But, man, at a historic venue like Dish Falk, it's a big deal.
1-2, sky high on the infield. Maloney and Cooney are taking a look at it, and now it's the shortstop Maloney who's under it for the out. Well, it speaks to the popularity of the sport. I think social media has had a lot to do with it. Certainly the coverage of the regionals and super regionals. I do think that the women's softball has contributed to college baseball as well. College softball is wildly popular. And I think the idea that you're watching college kids play at these levels and play at a high level only serves both of the sports. And certainly here in Texas.
Carryover effect, too. I mean, the Women's College World Series just ended this week, so it's immediately off into this.
That time of year.
Yeah.
No doubt. Tarps off up top.
For sure.
Okay.
Big swing there.
Surprised we haven't gotten a little more of a tarps off vibe here. I guess it's still early enough. It's a cool little spot to watch the ball game.
You all about tarps off? Is that a Chris Burke thing?
No, it's not a Chris Burke thing, but I do enjoy the movement at ball games.
Yeah. Pack will be on as he sends one in the left between the 5-6 hole. Anthony Pack's reached twice now.
This dude can hit, man. What a joy he's going to be to watch over the next couple years. We've been talking about the long ball and the power surge, but this is what he kind of made famous early in the year. Just that hit tool, take a breaking ball and slash it to the backside. Very polished hitter for a young man.
But that is one of the things that they worked a great deal on, is going the other way. He even acknowledged in the beginning there was a lot of let's pull everything and try to hit it over the wall. And they worked really hard on that. It's paid great dividends. He is certainly a threat to go with his 20 steals. Not here, and a good changeup there. And Becerra is way out in front.
That's definitely Clark's best pitch. I mean, he's not going to overpower you with velocity, but the velocity difference between a fastball that's been right around 90 and that changeup, that you see the arm speed is the exact same.
Just missed.
It is fascinating, too, in this super regional format where you're not guaranteed a third game. A lot of times if it was game one of a series and you're down, 5 to 7 runs, you would throw pitchers that you had no plan to be in the ball game. But for the Ducks, when you know tomorrow might be it if you don't come back in this ball game, you got to keep this thing right here and give yourself a puncher's chance down the stretch, because the offense has had 1,000 opportunities.
Well, on the other side, I think it shows you the importance of winning a game, winning game one. I mean, Harrison wouldn't have had his spikes on the whole weekend, day one, if he wasn't pitching, which he did a few times. But other than that, he'd have a clipboard today.
Back goes, quick throw down to second. It's a great throw. Wow, they nailed him by a lot. Hold on a second, though. Did we get runner going down? Ball four. Okay. Boy, did
Berkeley can
Berkeley
catch a throw,
came up
can he?
quick.
Yes, he can. And all of them have been right on the money.
That was special right there. That is as good as you can do.
By a lot. But a walk, so it's first and second. Becerra didn't budge. And now a guy that's had a great night. Adrian Rodriguez, 3 runs batted in, a double and a single. And he's swinging away on the first. That one gets away. Both runners move up 90 feet, second and third. And just after they got a couple of runs, it's really, really big. You mentioned it. Not only about preserving pitchers, but keeping this game within reach. They want to throw a 0 up, and now it's going to be more difficult.
And even though you weren't hitting the ball all over the ballpark, you look up at the run column and you got something in there right away. And that's, I think it's so important to continue that going. Troy Tulowitzki going to call an offensive timeout, or we're going to be forced to bring that infield in again when Texas is back at it.
There's Harrison. KP, so I saw Harrison kind of, using that towel, and you obviously carry a towel around with you everywhere. Is that something that you learned as a pitcher? I mean, is that something that...
To carry the towel move?
Yeah, you take it everywhere.
Yeah.
And you use it for everything.
Yeah. There it is. That's my towel. You're not supposed to touch it. That's my towel.
That is KP's property.
You had some food on your beard.
They pitch out. They throw down to third, and diving back was Pack Jr. Oregon read it beautifully.
They're thinking they're going to go safety here after a meeting, and so they go pitch out. Oh, what a slide.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, you are going to see different things when you play West Coast teams, especially when you get to the postseason, than you've seen during the course of the year in the SEC.
I don't know how many pitch outs I've seen this year.
That's the second one I've seen.
That was, again, you call a timeout with a runner on third in less than 2. It wouldn't be shocking to get a safety, and they just went. I don't know that that's what Texas had on, but it almost worked anyway.
Now it's a 3-1 count. And Rodriguez having a big night already. Swings and lifts one to fairly deep center field. The wind is pushing it. Pack will tag. He will come in. Diving into third safely is Becerra. And Adrian Rodriguez has a 4 RBI night. Half the runs, it's 8-2.
Situational hitting has just been fantastic for the Longhorns. That's their second sacrifice fly. We've seen some big 2 RBI base hits. And every free base Oregon gives up seems to lead to a run.
That's a career high in RBIs in a game for Rodriguez, 4 of them. And with 2 outs, Mendoza steps to the plate. That ball labeled to left field. Kiss it goodbye. It's over everything. Massive shot from Mendoza. Ethan Mendoza's 10th, and it's 10-2. And Larson lifts one to right field. The crowd thought it was deeper than it was, and it is caught out there by Laya. Boy, the bottom third of this order between Borba and Mendoza have done some damage, along with A-Rod, Adrian Rodriguez.
Some big-time damage. A hanging breaking ball right there. Ethan Mendoza launch it to left on a night where the wind is gushing out of the ballpark. Catches a breaking ball out in front. The Longhorns continue to cash in with runners in scoring position, and they lead by 8.
Well, Texas was killing it coming into this thing, and now they've added 10 more. You remember in the regionals they went 3-0, scored 19, 16, and then 6 in game 3. And their offense is clicking, and it's not necessarily the Tinnies and the Robbins of the world, it's everybody else. They have been great taking advantage of hit batters and walks tonight.
11 free base runners so far tonight, which Texas has done a great job of taking advantage of. They have just 6 hits.
Yeah, that'll make you sick if you're on the Oregon side of things. You made it easy on them with all the free passes. But you got to give credit to these Texas hitters. They cashed in.
Now Milwaukee steps up behind 1 and 2. It's a big hit or miss guy, and he stares at one right down the middle from Harrison. He got that big strikeout to end the 6th, and now leads off the 7th by getting Milwaukee.
Big fella got caught looking right there, boys. That's a 1-2 gutter ball that he's sitting on something soft.
Ducks hitters have struck out 13 times tonight. Bottom third of the order. Here comes Maddox Maloney. People around the country who are watching this game will wonder, all right, so you lose the top couple of overall seeds here. Who would be the favorite of the teams left when you get to Omaha? Who are they?
Well, Georgia's obviously still the highest seed remaining, and when you look at the win they had today, they just have a feel of a team that's going to be, to take a Kirby Smart phrase, hard to kill. They did a lot of things wrong in that game and still figured out a way to beat an incredibly talented team. And then Ole Miss, went to number 4, Auburn's building, and beat them 2-0. And that's a team that they check a lot of the boxes. They have that kind of feel to them. I would put them at the top of that list, and then you'd have to go to this Texas bunch.
And a 4-pitch walk. We'll talk about Mississippi State in a second. If Mississippi State won that game, would we throw them into that conversation?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
And that series far from done.
Yeah.
Mississippi State, you could argue, has more pitching left.
Oklahoma beat Kansas 8-1 and have a 1-game-to-none lead in that series. That's 5 straight balls here from Harrison after the big strikeout to lead the inning off. Started off with Jimenez hitting leadoff and getting on in the first inning. That was followed by 2 strikeouts, then another walk, and then a strikeout. And that sort of set the tone for the entire night at this point. Multiple runners on in so many innings.
5 of the 6 innings coming into this one.
Too many Ducks left on the dreaded pond. 13 left on base. They haven't gotten a hit with anybody in scoring position. And the free bases and the hit batters.
Not a winning formula.
I mean, literally the recipe for failure.
Yeah. And Waz knows that. I mean, they haven't won 43 games by doing that on a regular basis, but just an inopportune time to not cash in on offense and then give up too many freebies on the pitching side.
At the letters for a strike.
They got an ace going to ball. I mean, Will Sanford's got the ability to go out and quiet an offense down. In all likelihood, it looks like they'll be facing Ruger Riojas, who appears to have his good stuff back, too.
Harrison's 2-2. That ball is to center field. Pack got a read on it, and he is there to make the easy play. 2 down here in the 7th. Pendergrass, I should say. And he has certainly been a factor tonight with his speed. 2 stolen bases leads to a run on a sacrifice fly early in this one.
Been on base all 3 times. Walked twice, get hit by a pitch.
Managing the plate appearance. It's worked out really well.
Very well. Yeah, and really, Tenney and Robbins haven't really cashed in on it, but just flipping the lineup over. We did get the 1 sac fly from Robbins, but again, the back half of this Texas offense plays like this.
They get really dangerous.
It's a totally different ball club.
Yeah.
The Ash loss was the regional outcome, meaning all the runs you scored, more about the teams that you were facing or your team. Clearly, the first opponent wasn't SEC type quality when you're talking about Holy Cross in a 19-1 game. But you still have to hit the baseball. You still have to score. And this is a carryover from that series. You're double figures again.
Well, and then they went nuts on Tarleton and UCSB, 2 teams that certainly have some arm talent.
Oh, it's another walk, though, by a Texas pitcher. Up by 8. Harrison walks Jimenez, who's been on base 4 times tonight.
He certainly has proven why they moved him up to the leadoff spot. Now they're looking for Laya, who has had a rough one. Another at bat off a lefty here, which the lefties have just spun him to death.
The 51 runs scored by Texas, guys, the 3rd most through the regional and super since the format began in '99. 3rd most. They've played 1 game in the super series.
Played 6 innings.
Right. 71, 2005, 53 4 years ago.
How about Max Weiner? He's thrown nothing but breaking balls basically to Laya, and then fastball. And that's how you get your head spinning pretty quick. You can see the difference in the numbers, lefty versus righty for the youngster.
2 outs and an 0-2. Set up way outside is Tinney. It's exactly where he threw it, but he was too far outside to get the called 3rd strike.
It's a catcher balk. Simply a warning, but that's a catcher balk right there.
I mean, he nailed the glove.
That's a strike.
Yeah. It appeared to be.
Hit hard. Becerra will go to first.
Nice play.
For the out. They leave 2 more on base. The count rises to 16. And Drew Schlossnagel is getting into it with a home plate ump about that missed call third strike. It is home of the Men's College World Series. Texas ladies win the women's. Will the Texas men get there? Can they win? It starts Friday, everybody, and we'll take a look at the teams that are still battling. Alabama St. John's over on ESPN2 has passed us. They're in the bottom of the 7th. They started an hour later. They are in the same inning that we are, 6-0 in favor of Alabama.
Tyler Fay cruising in that one. 7 innings, 2 hits, 8 strikeouts.
A Nebraska kid trying to get home now.
That's pretty cool. Alabama team that is built on their starting pitching.
Casey Borba has left the building once tonight. He steps up here. We start the bottom of the 7th. Jim Schlossnagel is back on the top step, seemingly cooler than he was as we were going to break. Like a bull in a china. He was just charging.
He was fired up.
Yeah. That one missed, and it looked like Berkeley Mabius thought he had a strike. So between Borba and Pendergrass, they have been on 5 of the 6 times they've been up. That's the 8-9 hitters.
Scored 3 runs.
Three-1. 3-2 as he got underneath it.
Yeah, the one positive, I guess, if you look at for Oregon heading in tomorrow is they have not used their high leverage guys out of the bullpen at all.
They got a couple of them.
Yes, they do.
Tomorrow you can go Sanford, Bradley, Bell, and that's a combo that could change the offensive output.
The narrative.
Yeah, that Texas has been on. It could definitely slow this deal down if all 3 of those guys pitch to their capabilities, which to this point nobody's been able to slow Texas down in the postseason just yet.
3-2. Borba chases out of the zone. He is gone. A strikeout for Clark. Reason the game lasts as long as this one, we've had 27 3-ball counts, both teams, 27 3-ball counts. Texas, of course, is a team that is very patient at the plate, averaging over 4 pitches per plate appearance. Only Oklahoma State had more.
Yeah, but I mean, you can take a patient team and spin that around if you're throwing strike 1, strike 2.
For sure.
That can switch maybe not an approach, but speed the at-bats up, and Cal Scolari just couldn't consistently do that tonight.
Darian Pendergrass 3 times on and a squibber to third. He is now retired for the first time after a couple of walks and being hit by a pitch.
Well, that is a ball that almost every time a left-hander hits would be a base hit, but because
when he's hitting,
they fear the bunt.
Yes.
You end up with Drew Smith in a position to make that play.
All right, I'm going to say 309 total pitches thrown. Over or under that total?
Over.
I would say over, too.
313. You both are winners.
Yet again.
You always copy me.
Don't touch my towel.
KP will use the towel. If there's some condensation on the ceiling up here, he will use it to fire the towel there to help so that everyone in the booth doesn't get wet.
You're a giver.
Team guy.
I mean,
team player. Have you seen that move before with him?
Simple thank you would be fine. Just a thank you for
appreciate
thinking of
you.
us. Yes, you're welcome.
So needy. Thank you, Kyle.
You can't say those things back to back. You're so needy, thank you.
I just did.
Pick a horse.
2-1 to Robbins, 2-2 to Robbins. Brody Walls is warming in the pen for Texas. It's an active bullpen pregame as well as during the game. That's a spinner for a winner. Strike 3, Robbins caught looking. Second time he has struck out tonight. And we head to the 8th inning. Texas up by 2. 10-8 is the score. 10-2 is the score. It is 10-2. The deficit is 8. As we try to say, heading to break. Crowd on hand is thinning out a little bit. Feeling pretty good about where their Longhorns are as we get set to start the 8th inning of this one with Brody Walls set to take the mound for the Longhorns. 27 pitches for Harrison, KP. Available in a game 3 situation?
Yeah, I mean, I think you bring him in to put out the fire. Then they put a 3 spot on the board, and you probably don't have anybody ready yet. So Harrison goes back out. I do think he's still in position that if it goes to a game 3, he could absolutely start. Brody Walls, a freshman on. It's a big-time arm. The numbers in this case are actually a little bit deceiving. What's got him this year has been the home runs. He's given up 5 home runs, but there's 22 hits allowed, 8 walks, and the swing and miss is very good for Walls. It's fastball, cutter, slider primarily, a couple changeups to lefties.
Yeah, he's going to show you some 97s.
Generally see him during the midweek. A lot of Tuesday outings for him as he gets set to throw his first pitch, and that's a good one in there for a strike. How many balls does Tinney had pop in and out of that glove tonight?
He's trying to steal a few, too. He's just been a little bit quick on that ball down, trying to bring it back up.
Eighth inning, winner takes game 1. About 80% of the time, the winner of game 1 goes on to win its super regional. Both of these teams did not lose in their own regionals at home. And it's fielded cleanly and will tag the runner out. Brody Walls has got one down. Longhorns looking ahead to game 2. Likely will have Riojas on the mound, coming off of a outing in which everybody you talked to said felt like he was back to where he was when he's at his best. And Texas is 11-2 in game 2, supers all time.
Against UC Santa Barbara in that regional, 5 innings, gave up just 3 hits, 1 run, struck out 6 for Riojas. There was a period of probably 3 or 4 starts in a row that stuff had dipped down a little bit, was getting knocked around a little bit, so that was a very good sign for Texas, the way that Riojas threw last weekend.
Strikeout numbers are tremendous. There may be a few strikeouts tomorrow night in that game.
Yes. Both guys can run it up there. Sanford has a really special fastball at the top of the zone. Super athletic kid. Hey,
that ball is launched left field. Did Drew Smith just touch them all? He did. Pitch him and ditch him for Drew Smith. '16th long ball of the year.
Brady Walls coming in from the bullpen, throwing a bunch of breaking balls. And he hung the wrong one to the wrong dude. I'm in on the football helmet, KP. This is a cement mixer right down Broadway that just gets smashed. A breaking ball up and in. Great job of a tight turn. Get the barrel to it. And we talked about how well the ball's carrying to left here. Once you get that thing elevated, it is long gone.
Popped up sky high. Tinney has got a beat on it. Watch out. Oh! He was not stopping and wasn't watching out for anything. He saw the baseball and went after it and just had it flop out of that glove.
The wall just got in his way right there because he wasn't going to slow down for this.
It's a perfect example of how much the wind is blowing again. You know, I mean, that ball moved. That ball probably would have been in the circle had it not been for the wind. That thing made it all the way to the edge of the dugout. Tough night to catch pop-ups behind the plate for sure.
So Jack gets another chance. They set up outside and he missed location badly. Jack is an impressive guy when you see him in that batter's box and he gets a hold of one, it goes. Another one of the 6-foot+ strong guys, and the wind leaves that with the shortstop Rodriguez for the second out. Clearly a conscious decision by Waz to bring size to Oregon. Right? I mean, this is the formula. But it's the formula. He believes this is the way to win.
Well, power. And power in this sport, similar to golf, doesn't always come from the biggest dudes. There are different size packages that can produce power, but he clearly has a type.
Well, they've had a ton of success.
Yeah.
I mean, he's played in the postseason all 6 years he's been there. Third super out of those 6 years.
Big Ten Coach of the Year last year.
He's built a consistent winner, and it's such a big brand, right? I mean, kids, they see Oregon on TV all fall and winter playing big-time football, and he's just done a great job of bringing that level of success to the baseball program. As you make 3 regionals in 4 years, you get on the big stage of playing for a chance to go to Omaha. Eventually, they're going to run right through that door.
They're showing up, too. I mean, they sold it out all weekend last week.
2 down, 2-2. Berkeley Mabius. Here we go again. Tinney is able to make the catch that time, and it felt like there was no way he was going to let that drop. Challenging night for the catchers. Good night for Texas overall. They lead at 10-3. We go bottom 8. Beautiful city, where the expectations are for national championships. They got one on the women's side. They feel really good about the upcoming football season. And as everybody has noticed, the Moody Center is one of the great basketball arenas, and Sean Miller's starting to turn that thing around as well. Sloss has been here a few years, very comfortable, and he is continuing what he did at TCU. He's building a very, very strong foundation for continued success.
I went to Omaha 2 out of 3 times in A&M. I mean, nobody's been to Omaha any more than Sloss over the last 15 years.
Tinney hard on the ground, one hopper for Smith. And Tinney at the plate. We talked about Robbins and Tinney. Robbins reached twice with walks. Tinney has not been on base. He's the only Longhorn who hasn't reached base tonight.
That breaks a long streak, 34 straight games for the catcher. If you're going to break it, do it in a game where your team wins by 7.
Yes, when you look up, you got 10 runs on the board.
Here is Anthony Pack. It was Robbins who really did a great job. He took Pack under his arm, spent a tremendous amount of time with Anthony at the beginning of his freshman season. showing him the ropes, you know, teaching him sort of right and wrong, getting him involved with the culture of Longhorn baseball. They said about Pack when he walked in, he said a lot of freshmen will kind of always look over their shoulder at the coach to make sure they're doing things the right way. And they made it quite clear that Pack never really looked over his shoulder. And not that he was cocky or arrogant, but he just felt like he belonged. And it didn't take him long to realize, I do belong and I can succeed.
Great mixture of humility and belief, which is pretty deadly combo when you put it with a ton of talent. And he came in and certainly earned his stripes as a first year player, but they could tell he never doubted his ability to perform. Now, I don't think they knew he was going to be hitting third.
Right.
No, and I mean, basically said as much. Like we thought he'd play, but we didn't necessarily think he'd play like this. You could be looking at the National Freshman of the Year.
He got another chance as he looked back to see Berkeley Mabius didn't hold on to it. Well, you've seen baseball players. He just doesn't look rushed in anything he does.
No, and he's taken it's been a sped up progression, but typically great hitters, what they first do is they figure out a way to hit for average. And then the power comes.
Tailing down the line. He's watching it, and that one just went foul.
It stayed straighter than I thought it would.
Yes.
Stayed straighter than he thought it would.
Yeah. But you see a progression a lot of times where a guy maybe has a great batting average, but he hits three to five homers, and then he maybe doubles that in year two, and then maybe he gets to 15 or 20 and becomes a conference player of the year type of dude. He's almost fit the stages of that progression within one season. He hit more home runs in May than he did the other 3 months combined. That's progressing quickly.
2-2, laces one into right. 108 miles an hour off the bat. Talked about all the championships that the Longhorn sports programs have won. For the men's baseball team, 65th tournament appearance, most all time. 14th super regional, tied third most all time. They've been to the World Series more than any other team and have claimed as many titles as any but two.
So this will be the 79th year of the College World Series, and they've been to 38.
Yeah, just about half.
Two for four with a walk, Anthony Pack in his first super regional game.
Yeah, just 2 for 4 with a walk, Rev.
Right.
Just a
Yeah.
ho-hum day.
Lakewood, California, and the story around Anthony Pack Jr. is he played in a field that had no fence.
That's right, high school. No fence, which is kind of part of the legend. How do you not have a fence and then be this mature and polished of a player? The two don't seem to fit. Another pitch out. Interesting.
Let me ask you this as a base runner. I don't know if this happened right here, but because Pack broke, and I think it was a fake steal, but he broke right there. Can you ever see a catcher move out on a pitch out and then put the brakes down?
You can peek in on a pitch out for sure. Yeah, and the goal is, you know, if you're a peaker, now a lot of guys when they straight steal don't. They just nose down. But there are guys that probably could pull that off. I don't think that was a real attempt there, KP.
I think it was a fake steal. I think he was just breaking.
He would have been further down the line.
He was a Moore League Player of the Year at Millikan High School. We're talking about Pack in that field with no fence. This is the play you guys are talking about.
Yeah, that just looks like
he
a
just
fake.
took.
Yep.
There's a lot of draft interest in Pack, but he committed to Texas, honored it, and the Longhorn fans are going to enjoy him for the next couple of years for sure.
Well, again, Texas has been one of the best in the portal, but they've also produced some really good homegrown talent. We've seen two of them tonight in Volantis and Pack.
Becerra, that is a fair ball, and let's watch Pack run second base. Third base, breaks are on there. Big night for Temo Becerra, his second double. And they're looking to tack on more to a 10-3 lead here in the eighth.
Temo Becerra over the course of the year just kind of gradually moved up this lineup and played some short when Rodriguez was hurt. Played some third base, now playing second base, but has fit in this four-hole for what, probably the last 3 weeks? He's been a good fit. He's not going to hit you a ton of home runs, but he's shown you plenty of good at-bats tonight. He's been on base 4 out of 5 times.
Yeah, had a really big series, second to last weekend of conference play against Tennessee, and from that point forward has kind of had a different vibe about him.
Not all four-hole hitters are created equal, right? Dewar with Mississippi State's another guy that won't hit the ball over the wall very often, but will make contact, will get on base.
Texas A&M.
A&M.
Yes. Yeah, you've seen a lot of teams do that in their 3 or 4 hole. If they put their highest OPS guys in 1 and 2, sometimes it makes a bunch of sense in lineup construction to put more of a high bat-to-ball contact grade guy in that 3-4 hole.
Pitching change for the Ducks. Adrian Rodriguez already with 4 RBI. Coming to the plate, chance for 2 more. It's been a bumpy night for Ducks fans here in Austin, Texas. 10-3 our score, 2 on. As we take a look at the brackets one more time. Field is 64, and we are now sending teams to Omaha. Left side of the bracket, these were the 8. West Virginia and Troy on to Omaha along with Ole Miss. North Carolina and USC play the rubber game Sunday at 3 o'clock Eastern time on ESPN. Jason DeCara saved everything with a complete game for the Heels today. On the other side, St. John's trailing Alabama big. Oklahoma leading their series 1-0. Georgia survived a big battle with Mississippi State. 6 Eastern for the top game. Early game is Georgia-Mississippi State. This one is down the line off the bat of Rodriguez. It may be playable over there. Wow, it was overrun by Jax Jimenez. Think he lost it?
You got to go Kevin Mitchell right there, don't you? You overrun it, just go bare hand.
Make a run at it. Just reach at it. I wasn't too far away from being fair.
Yeah.
This is where you go Kevin Mitchell. Reach the right hand out. Oh. Yeah, he just totally misread that ball.
Second and third for the Longhorns, and it missed off.
Too many plays that are like never been duplicated.
The Mitchell play probably won't.
Never.
No, you know, I don't think that wasn't really intended in the beginning of the. His first
Correct.
move wasn't to think,
Correct.
you know what, I'm gonna barehand this.
Just casually barehand a fly ball about 320 feet from home.
Center field. KP, Michael Mechna gets the job done. The fly out to left. Both runners advance. He gets the out. He'll take a run to make it 11. What do you got on Michael Mechna?
I'm an Omaha kid, man. I know Corn South High School. Come on.
What else?
I went to school with his dad.
Is that
Went to
right?
high school with his dad.
He's
Small
probably,
world.
Probably got some stories.
He may have a couple. He may have a couple. I don't think it's late enough in the night to tell him.
We're getting there, though.
We can see it from here.
And Mendoza swings hard. It's this blooper into right. The second baseman went out. I don't think Laya had a good read on it, but Cooney makes the play. Last licks for the Ducks. They're down 8. We go to the 9th. The projected starters for game 2, Ruger Riojas and Will Sanford. Sanford was the most outstanding player in the Eugene Regional in 6 1/3. He gave up 1 hit. He struck out 14. And you can see the incredible strikeout to walk numbers on the left-hand side on the bottom, 106 and 15. And by the way, you know, old school, a little Dennis Eckersley look there for
The
Ruger.
look, yeah.
Big time flow coming out of that back. We're in the 9th inning and the last chance for Milwaukee to do something memorable. And his first super regional, he stood in there. If that hit him, it would have just dropped.
New ball. Milwaukee was he was a fun deep dive this week prepping for this series. As elite as there is really in the country in exit velocities, and also right at the top of the sport in miss percentage and chase percentage. I mean, it is like the classic power profile.
It's 7 walks and 55 strikeouts on the year. But if he gets it, look out.
Leads the team in chase, leads the team in miss, leads the team in exit velos and home runs per plate appearance. So it's kind of what you would expect from 6'5", 265.
Who will be pitching next season. Called strike 3. Milwaukee was walking to first, and now he's walking to his dugout.
It feels like they've caught him guessing a few times.
Last 2 times, it's been the same thing. They got him looking for spin and just pumped a fastball over.
Last 3 plate appearances, he has struck out. 14 strikeouts for the Ducks hitters tonight. Walls has found it again, 95, the upper part of the zone to get ahead of Maddox Maloney.
Walls gives you a look of a kid that could find himself in this rotation next year. And just the fact that they trusted him. I know it's an 8-run lead, but they trusted him to come in this ballgame to get him this experience. As you said, was used highly on Tuesdays this year, which oftentimes is a precursor to getting your opportunity on the weekend. And thanks for sure at Texas. Nothing is handed to you. They are going to bring in premium high schoolers. They're going to get into the portal.
Well, I think it's all the more impressive what Valanis did last year.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it ends up their closer and wasn't a 3-out closer, but had he was one of the best back-end bullpen guys in the country as a freshman.
Sports Center, SVP is coming up when we are done here, and you see the scores scrolling through in the upper right-hand part of your screen. Get to the highlights of those games and all the other action from around the world of sports. Swing and a miss. It's a filthy slider. And down to their last out. We'll be on at 9 p.m. Eastern time tomorrow night for game 2 of this series. And assuming there's not the most miraculous comeback of all time, the Longhorns will have a chance to punch a ticket to Omaha. Ball 1. A hockey game, which every hockey game goes overtime. This one is in overtime again. Hurricanes and Golden Knights 4-4. So Trevor Scales and Madeline Burke will pick up Sports Center when we are done. That game on ABC 4-4.
Gabe Miranda, KP, this was your pick to click pregame
This
here.
is my pinch hit pick to click. We're watching Big Pick.
his pick too. He's watching. I don't know if Brody Walls got the memo.
He might have.
That's why he's pitching around him.
Yeah. He saw the same KP saw.
Not on my watch.
See?
Great call again.
My ability to scout
You are dialed.
just unmatched.
Roll Tide, an 8-0 win over St. John's. Tide go to 1-0. Hockey is going to go into a second overtime. They struck out 9 in that game and went into the 8th inning. Jax Jimenez. Watch out. Boy, yanking the heck out of the last couple of pitches, and he drilled Jimenez.
I don't think Schloss wants to go back to the pin here.
No. I'm certain that he doesn't,
Yes.
actually.
The pinch runner at second base is Elijah Cook. Max Wiener usually has kind of got a pep in his step. There you go. You mentioned maybe slapping a clock on the reviews. I mean, there's clocks on everything now.
Yep.
You want 90 seconds? What about on?
Well, there is supposed to be a clock on this. Now, it doesn't feel
I mean like the run out there and the walk back.
Pace to get out there?
all
Yeah.
of it.
No.
I'm in on all of it.
No. I'm not on that one. I'll give you I've come around to your other, they're not original ideas. They're in the major leagues, but I've come
You've
around
softened.
to those.
You have. I'm proud of you.
How do you
But
think Sully?
you can't
how do
tell
think
a pitch
Sully.
he goes.
Yeah. How do you think Sully? How do you think Bruce Bochy would have felt if they put a clock on him walking out to the mound?
He told somebody they were number one. That's what he'd have done because it
Cal, you actually can. You can do that.
can do what?
You can put a clock on it. You can.
I don't want to.
Okay. Well, you said you can't.
We shouldn't.
Angel Laya with 2 on. Angel in the 2-hole is 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts tonight.
High do factor here. he's got a righty too, which means he's super dangerous. I know.
Squared one up to center field. Woo! That one maybe almost got away from Pendergrass, but he's there to make the play. And the Longhorns take game 1 11-3 and move within a win of a trip to Omaha.
Probably not the one that we thought, but I think a lot just because of Oregon's inability to throw strikes. It changed the entire game, and then their inability to get a big hit. If either one of those things happened, the game's totally different, but both of them happened, and that means you're probably not going to beat a team from Texas.
On paper, Texas was the favorite tonight because they had Dylan Volantis going.
Yes.
I would say on paper, you could argue that Oregon's got the better dude going on the mound. So it'll be interesting to see if that holds form. This Texas offense is pretty dangerous, though, right now.
It is. Lack of execution for Oregon, as KP put it, but 17 left on base is the most left on base in an NCAA tournament game in the last 3 years. Right side of the bracket, Kansas, Oklahoma, game 2 Sunday at 6 on ESPN. Alabama, St. John's. Alabama's got a 1-0 lead. Georgia, Mississippi State kick things off tomorrow at noon Eastern on ESPN. With Chris Burke, and Kyle Peterson. I'm Carl Ravitch for our entire crew, including our producer, Bill Palladino, and our director, Jeff Evers. I'm Carl Ravitch saying so long. Texas the winner in Game 1, 11-3, and SportsCenter is up.